Holler if you hear me. Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to this little holiday, this little Christmas spectacular for the one only Art Uncensored. Oh, yes, because we are at the top of the hour, 10 p.m. Eastern, and we have got some presents to unbox. You can see one of the Amazon bits right here beside me. And also besides that, even on the holidays, remember, when you work for yourself, there are no real days off. Even on the days of the Yuletide carols and all that, you still have progress to make because we do have the back cover for Encrypted Save the Future to display right here, right then, right now. And we've got Weatherman, who came in hot by gifting 5 channel memberships. So Gundam Wing 0, Fallen Hero 4567, Cool Cotton, Scorpageist, and Georgina Floyd all now are gifted channel memberships. So let's see what that channel membership engagement was like from last night's progress to tonight to see if we gained momentum, or if it was a washout. Well, let's see. Oh, yes. We now, from the 5 that were gifted last night, we went up to 111 memberships right there. That is perfect. So that means that maybe now, if we keep that going, that means that we should be up to 116 by tomorrow night. And well, we've got all the holiday festivities to enjoy, but also tomorrow is the night of me, or the first thing in the morning is one of me having another early doctor's appointment to go along with right here. We've got the general practitioner up the way. My trusty little Swiss Army knife is right here, ready to go for some unboxing. And we've also got, this nice little thing to show off. I know it sort of looks like the glaive from Crow, but thanks to the good people at Hobby Lobby, yes, I have this little thing, which is a perfect little template you see for doing these kind of circles and angles. But these little dot lines right here also make it a makeshift circular Ames lettering guide, so that I can do those penciled out circular lines like that in order to do angled, circular, or curved lettering in a way you can't with the Ames lettering guide, which is absolutely positively amazing to do, because the more and more I do these encrypted comics, the more I want to try to go and add more, visually distinctive things to do in there. And with the lettering, the lettering is also just as important to the artwork as anything else. I mean, that's another reason why I'm much more adept, or at least more confident about doing lettering than anything else, on account of, well, with the why would you leave something like that to a hired hand? And go and bring up some creativity in that one too. Weatherman says, I'm tired, Luke, so I might duck out early. Well, Weatherman, the fact that you're here and you dropped in those gifts right there is very, 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 very nice, and also shows real dedication to the channel. And I appreciate the fact that anybody's coming around tonight. I mean, there was a lot more people streaming than I was expecting today. Nerdrotic isn't streaming, but I do see that Ryan Kennel's also streaming and screaming like a banshee, probably about what God knows what, into his webcam tonight, because that's his one mode. And on top of that, there is also Culture Casino did his regular stream in the morning right there. Midnight's Edge also is there. So, I mean, there's a lot more people streaming today than I was expecting. So I'm not that much of, a weirdo or whatever. And of course, geeks and gamers. But knowing them, it was probably just, Disney, and more Disney bitching. They should go and take those time to vacation in the magical land of Quit Ya Bitchin'. Or at the very least, don't cry, the land of do something about it, maybe. If you don't like what it is that's going on, then try to make your own little thing to compete with what it is you don't like. But that takes, time and effort away. That makes it a bit more of a difficult hustle than just to continue to complain and yell. But that's stuff we all already know. Yes, it's easier to do that. It's a lot easier to do that. That's why I say, those are the kind of people, whether I agree with them or not, more people that, my Uncle Mark could probably, knock out, like the Northside Kings front man knocking out Glenn Danzig, and do it with a number 2 pencil poking them in the nose. The kind of people, or if you listen to Ryan Kennel, I'm pretty sure if you tap them on the back with a ballpoint pen, he gets so, hit in the giggles, he would start to sing like Frankie Valli for 6 months. And hello to Nick in the chat right there. Hello, everyone. It's presents opening tonight. Oh, yes, it is. Because we've got this right here to work. This thing has never failed me before. Not even with the little compartments for this little file right here, a little nail file that comes in there. And a little Phillips head screwdriver that they've got on the side that I've used a few times here and there when I remember that it has this feature. And also, yes, the work has not stopped. So you'll be seeing that as we see people come in. Let's give them a little look at this baby boy right here. Yes, this is the back cover to Encrypted Save the Future. the truth is. What is it? Well, that's what the back cover is for, to try to bring you some intrigue. And since the slogan on the back cover to the first one worked so well, I thought, well, why not do one for here? I'm not sure if I'll add a slogan or anything to the back cover of the one I did for Divine Justice. I think probably it's better off that way, where it's just the bullet hole with the shattered beads and all that of the rosary. But we're getting closer and closer in to those little things. And if you're somebody who enjoys watching Chris's Vacation, well, at least through YouTube, there are some people out there who have uploaded at least major parts of the film, major scenes of the film with cursing, things like that, that have not been removed. So, if you enjoyed the little poolside fantasy scene, yes, that actress didn't actually get naked, but for those out there who've been disappointed by that for years, if you wanted to see that actress naked, she also did go topless in a film called Boxing Helena. So yeah, look that one up. It's one that people that were in the 90s will only remember because of a court case that happened where Kim Basinger got sued for breach of contract by the producers because she quit the film, so late into production and all that. But that might be there. And yeah, the smaller character is that is the character that the whole story really revolves around. Andy, right there. Yes, little Andy Carter with the X on his shirt with his little laptop right there. And so this cover was basically a combination of the UFO, classic Roswell UFO cover of the memoir Communion, the Whitley Strieber's memoir about his abduction. Actually, it happened around Christmas. Yes, the horror novelist who then got an alien abduction experience around Christmas right there. And yeah, there we go. So it's a mixture of that and also the original cover to the third issue of The Dark Knight Returns. If you see that one that they called Hunt the Dark Knight, the cover for that one, each of the four covers were very, very strikingly simple. They kept it simple, stupid, and it worked well. Where the Hunt the Dark Knight chapter of Dark Knight Returns, the cover is just the Batman logo, like the signal, with that little figure of the Carrie Kelly Robin crouched like underneath it, looking like she's up pinned to a wall. And that's where it came from. Thought of that, and then okay, little Andy like that with a little spotlight around him, and put that by that big Whitley Strieber looking UFO rendering, with the help of this trusty helix right here. All right there. And yes, Agent Mulder right here is also with us tonight. Yes, his first big Christmas time here. And Nick is hoping that Weatherman's having no migraines. Yes. He woke up after sleeping in, so there's no migraine. That's nice. And yes, my Christmas cheese pizza tradition, that was fulfilled thanks to the good people over at Papa John's. And yes, I did have that bell pepper that comes with them for free. The trick is if you chew it very, very quickly and then just swallow it immediately, then you won't get so much of that intense burning. And the big indulgence on that pizza was I ordered for extra sauce. Yeah, so the extra sauce, that was it. Although it was strange that actually the person that was supposed to pick it up quit. And then I got a phone call from Uber Eats asking me what my delivery address was, even though the delivery address is already, it has to be there on your phone of where it's going to be from. You send it to your home. But okay, that happened. Somebody else then came up and wound up delivering it in a Chrysler 300. And before then, it was a Jaguar F-Pace that was supposed to pick it up, but then backed away. Yes, I had my Christmas dinner delivered by a Jaguar. I feel like Nelson Rockefeller for a day. Yes, feel like Rockefeller for a day. And there's also something around here I'll be showing you later before we enter in this unboxing around here with all this thing right here. I don't want to knock anything around or down, but let's go in. And when exactly do you think that we should start the unboxing, as we've got this few minutes in there? Because as you know, I'm not the type to have one of those self-indulgent 15-minute intros to a stream like either Van Skyver. No, that's why someone else who, for all of his pretending to be superior to Geeks and Gamers or to Nerdrotic and all of his friends at Friday Night Tights or Az or what have you, really he comes from the same land of needing to go to the land of quit ya bitchin'. And I know he's streaming right now, but hey, fuck his fat ass. And let's go in with this boy right here. I think this one came in, it says from eBay, because you can tell this is an Amazon Prime box, but this is somebody reusing their Amazon Prime box. Look at that right there, where they scraped off the tape with like a big knife or something, or scissors. Yes, Papa John's is so good. Luke must have no tolerance for heat. The more you eat, the less it affects you. Well, it's the fact that I've never had that kind of pepper before. That's the matter. For me, though, when it comes to heat and peppers like that, it's a matter of with my how easily congested I get that actually I wind up enjoying peppers and spices like that. For the fact that it helps me to be able to breathe through my nose in the winter. That's why ordering Thai and at least a good mild level of spice to it, good. No garlic though. Between what it does to my head, it hurts, and also what it does to my bowels, it hurts even more. I'm not one of those types that likes to have a mountain of garlic like Tony Montana's Cocaine Mountain in Scarface. As I'm trying to cut this around. All right, there we go that way. Trying to cut away from myself. All right, there we go. There we got it. Cutting it away over here as well. There we go. Close this down. Hello and Merry Christmas to Tyranitar as well. Yes, right there. Oh, yeah. You know that line from the last song on Dark Side of the Moon, Eclipse, all you create and all you destroy? Well, for the type of people like that online or whatever, it's not even that, since they create nor destroy anything, it's all you complain, and makes you complain even more. All right, it feels like a toy. I'm intentionally shutting my eyes. Nothing else in the box. It's got bubble wrap on it. I'm intentionally going like this. One of these little things. Feels like some kind of a tumor in the bag. Getting it all off, taking it all off, baby. And there you go. You get a look at it first before I do. Oh, hell yeah. Look at this, baby. It's a Series 1 McFarlane Toys Agent Mulder toy from the X-Files right there.
I can't see it.
It's yeah, this was like when the McFarlane people first started expanding their stuff outside of just doing toys for Spawn. I believe this was one of them. And yeah, join now the official X-Files fan club in Mount Morris, Illinois, xfilesfanclub.com. I don't know if they're still around, but there, like in the tiniest little corner, you can see the McFarlane Toys logo. When originally the company was called Todd's Toys, then eventually changed it to McFarlane Toys. And in the early years of when he started doing them, Todd McFarlane himself would appear in the commercials to promote them. Yes. What was that? And actually, the confidence in sculpting these toys to try to capture the character's likeness, they're confident about it when the packaging has the picture of the real thing right above the sculpt of what you're doing. Then that's McFarlane's chutzpah. That's McFarlane having perpetually the type of entrepreneurial spirit of hanging his balls out there. The guy who you can tell started out in sports before he got into comics, with him having been a center fielder and getting a baseball scholarship to go to a Pac-10 school back then in the 80s. And yes, there it is. It comes with a flashlight, Series 1 Agent Fox Mulder, and also comes with a gurney and this wrapped up corpse in this little tarp right there. Looks like something almost out of Silent Hill. Actually, no, wait. If it were out of Silent Hill, the corpse right there, it would be either some kind of weird, dirty leather or latex, or this gauze would be all like covered in dirt and soot. Let's see. For years, the world has seen reality distorted. Oh, this is cool. The copy on the back here, I remember I had the VHS for Home Alone 3 growing up, and one of the ads in front of the movie was the teaser trailer for the X-Files movie. I remember this because I saw Home Alone 3 so much. The most X-Files I watched in the 90s was the teaser trailer for the first movie on the VHS for Home Alone 3 for years. Yeah, I remember it was one of those times where they have the 20th Century Fox logo and it's the fanfare, but then the fanfare gets they cut away or they distort it. Like the theatrical cut of Alien 3, where the last big high note, then suddenly it goes boom, and then stops. Something scary. Now the boom. For years, the world has seen reality distorted, facts manipulated, and truth hidden. But there's even more to the story than anyone suspected, because no one has ever been able to see the whole picture until now. Mulder, cherish the past. Enjoy the present, because the truth is coming. Dun, dun. Do, 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 do. Of course, though, if you remember, the movie, that's the logo that they only had for the movie, not for the show. I think there was like a copyright reason is why the logo you saw on the top opening credits of the show was not what they used for the film. Let's see, Weatherman brings up yeah, there it is.
The film copyrighted it. That's why they had the copyright.
Well, remember, it was a Fox show and a 20th Century Fox film release. So it came out like I think the month after the season 5 ended. That season 5, the last one they shot in Vancouver. It's a corpse on a gurney. That's why there's the gurney down there.
Oh, that white thing?
Yeah. There's a couple different series of these. There's like they all had Mulder and Scully, but also there was ones like there's this one I remember a super deluxe one where it was in one box. They had Mulder and Scully. X-Files fan club. They had Mulder and Scully, and they had one of the aliens you see in the movie where the black oil winds up incubating an alien inside a person's body, and it doesn't just like burst out like the chest burster in Alien. The body isn't like normal and then explodes out. All the nutrients in the body that's been infected with the black oil gets drained out of it, and the alien incubating in the stomach drains out all the nutrients in the body, and it turns into like a jelly-like husk.
What is black oil?
It was what aliens on the X-Files used to infect people, infect humans, and to colonize the Earth. And also, they have the X-Files, the albums, soundtrack album featuring music from today's hottest stars, including a collaboration between Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie on the X-Files, the album.
They just grab them and inject them?
No. Sometimes the black oil's injected. Sometimes it's infected by somebody's infected with it, but they're going to pass it to someone else. And I would say the debate of should I open this or should I keep it in the box? But already the box is kind of loose. Group's not. Oh yes, a little fun right there. Let's go and open this one up. And also on the back, you've got you see them right there. You've got the photo on the front of the actors, and then here you see Mulder and Scully with that nice lighting. Then they are, although the way that the sculpts look, don't they kind of look like the character designs from the first Silent Hill game? I mean, like similar in the look. If you remember, like the cut scenes they did in the first Silent Hill, like the way that the way the sculpts here of the toys in this lighting look like the cut scenes from the first Silent Hill game, which is interesting because Silent Hill, that first film, had Marita Covarrubias of the X-Files, Miss Laurie Holden, playing Sybil Bennett. So interesting coincidence right there.
She already played it?
No. Let's see. Or you probably more people would remember her from The Walking Dead as like some character on that, or maybe The Mist. Let's see. Simple fall off right there. Warning, choking hazard. Oh, let's look at the back of this. Let's see. Agent Dana Scully, recruited out of medical school by the FBI. Agent Dana Scully was originally assigned to the X-Files to debunk Agent Fox Mulder's work and report on his findings. Idealistic, intelligent, and with strong convictions, Scully soon realized that the X-Files contained extraordinary events that cannot be refuted by scientific interpretation. Scully's own inexplicable abduction and the discovery of a bizarre metal implant in her neck only served to strengthen her solidarity with Mulder, despite the risk to her cancer and her life. Even though the thing of her, being sent to debunk Mulder wound up pretty much falling apart, and the writers forgot about that in the middle of season 1. The cancer stuff and her abduction and all that, none of that was relevant to the movie. Let's see. Agent Fox Mulder. Oxford-educated, brilliant, and driven, Agent Fox Mulder was one of the leading investigators into the Violent Crimes Division of the FBI until he requested a transfer to an obscure area of the Bureau known as the X-Files. There he earned the reputation as a renegade agent, investigating cases which the FBI deemed unexplained due to their paranormal nature. But Mulder quickly learned that the X-Files were cases that the government did not want solved, and forces within the government would go to any length to ensure that these cases remained a mystery. Compelled by his belief that his sister was abducted by aliens when he was 12 years old, Mulder is willing to risk everything to find what he desires most. The truth, Scully. Also, then the fact that, him being all sad about his sister having been abducted probably is a great way to pick up chicks. Using the whole "I can fix him, he's so lonely" thing against women. He's so just sad about his sister. I can save him with my love. And I can also save him with my pussy. You've seen women like that.
Most women. If you want to fix her up, or they'll tell you.
Weatherman brings up
The house.
Yeah, that's also like women get so offended of men of women being objectified or whatever. Well, then how about when you objectify men, like treating a house like treating a man like he's a house, like he's some type of fixer upper that just spend put some money into this and then I can flip it and make and profit.
He just needs the right woman, me, to fix him up.
Let's get this out of the box right there. Does anybody remember that Disney Channel show Out of the Box? It was in the late 90s. Yeah. All right. Let's pull this out without breaking it. Okay. Actually, look, it's a real gurney. It actually expands a little, like it's in a hospital or hopsicle. Oh, check this out. And the little sidebars too go up and down. Well, if I ever, this is interesting. I've said before about when it comes to drawing real life things, it's good to have some kind of reference photos or objects of them. Like say, if you want to draw cars, then, get toy cars or get toy motorcycles. I have a Hot Wheels toy motorcycle and a supply of toy cars I think are in my basement. But in the other case, here is, look at this now when it comes to gurneys. Well, I can perfectly do this gurney. Although the wheels aren't like movable in here, they're just plastic. But you see this? The way the gurney, the handles move like that. A bit like that. And then we've got, pull this one out and wonder what's inside here. Oh, look, it's like got little plastic tags on the back. This corpse feels kind of rubbery. I don't know if you can unscrew them or uncap them. You can actually kind of see the indentations of the skull under the light. Like the lights, you can see that sunken in features. Almost kind of like a desiccated face, like a Freddy Krueger kind of thing right in there. Wondering what it's like or if there's a... Although I'm probably worried though, so if I try to unfurl these plastic straps in the back, will I break it?
Probably.
So probably not good. Just keep the corpse this way and keep it on the gurney. I don't want to get Todd McFarlane mad at me. So, either Todd McFarlane through McFarlane Toys or to get Chris Carter and friends mad at me. Or considering that, one of the main writers and producers on the show, Glenn Morgan, directed the 2000s remake of Black Christmas, maybe this time of year I am showing up on my doorstep and putting a sharp candy cane through my face or something. And there we go. Right there, the flashlight is in there. What's arm kind of swivels this way. Feels kind of sticky. But what just fell? Something fell. Oh, it's his FBI badge. The little FBI badge is apparently pop it in there. I've got crazy glue, so I've got enough crazy glue. I can probably put that back in there without making things fall off. Okay. And let's see what this one is up. The hand doesn't move. Does the head swivel kind of a little bit, but I don't want to go too far because I might pop something off. The hips move a little right there. Oh, yeah. A little bit. A little do. If you remember Mulder's love of Elvis throughout the show and Reverend. Yeah, in the movie, it's a detail from the movie where the movie opens with a little kid falling through a hole, and when he's there, that alien black oil infects him. But then the firemen are brought in, they go down and into that hole to find him, and then those firemen that go down also wind up getting infected with the black oil. And then to cover it up, what happens is that a federal building, there was a bomb threat at a federal building, and the bomb actually winds up going off. And suddenly, inexplicably, it turns out that there was these multiple firemen and this little boy that were in this federal building that got blown up, even though it was all evacuated. And it turns out, oh no, wait, the more they look into it, it turns out that no, that whole federal building blow up was a cover up used to cover for those firemen and that child being infected by the black oil, because Mulder and Scully sneak into the hospital where their bodies are, and in examining them, Scully's able to see, oh my God, look at this. This fireman's body is like jelly. And then they also see there's something crawling around inside his stomach that's growing like some kind of fetus. And that's where they realize what the black oil really does to people when it's fully infected to them. There we go, right there. I can see this sort of, if you were able to repaint this, you could sort of have this kind of like a Harry Mason kind of toy. So it doubles as Agent Mulder come Harry Mason. Have you seen a little girl, short, black hair, just turned 8 last week? My name's Agent Fox Mulder, FBI. I was sent into Silent Hill to go look for her. And considering that the Silent Hill comics were some of the first licensed comics that IDW did, and IDW, I think, still has the X-Files comic book license, how has there not been a Silent Hill X-Files crossover? I mean, they were smart enough to do an X-Files crossover comic with 30 Days of Night. Why not do that? Because look at Silent Hill, tell me that Mulder and Scully wouldn't be perfect to wander into that town. Wouldn't it? A little bit right there. I said Harry Mason, not Perry Mason, Gerbsnot. I don't know what you're going on about right now. Or also don't know why like the arms feel like sticky. Like put your touch them.
They are.
Yeah, I don't know. And this was in the this is in the original packaging, or maybe because this was in the original packaging, there's something with like the it's something to do with the plastic over the quarter century it's been packaged. I'm guessing.
Just aging.
That could just be the package aging over the time or whatever. Another difference I've noticed with the Mulder hair is you see that.
Where did it come from?
This came from.
Who's the shipping address?
Let me go.
That might give you this answer.
Nick Perry Mason was a lawyer show from back in the 50s and 60s. It was the first major like legal drama on network TV. If you remember the American cut of Godzilla, the star of that, Raymond Burr, well, the best thing he's known for is starring on Perry Mason back in the 50s and that American cut of Godzilla. Although that he was already well known from Perry Mason, I think. And no, wait, I want to confirm this about. I know Raymond Burr was the star of Perry Mason, and I first heard about the character because they used to do in the 80s and 90s. They brought the character back through a series of TV movies that they would re-air on TBS in random afternoons. There was like Perry Mason and the Glass Coffin, or Perry Mason and the Case of the Heartbroken Bride, were all these like TV movie sequels they did of Perry Mason 30 years after the show ended. Yeah. Perry Mason, it was a legal drama that started in 57. So that was after Raymond Burr starred in the American edit of Godzilla as journalist Steve Martin. And then when they did the mid-80s version Godzilla movie, the Return of Godzilla, the American edit of it, they did it again where they shot a whole new B story to splice Raymond Burr back into the film, but they never said his character's full name because Steve Martin became known as someone else after the 70s. All right, well, where'd this come from? We've got the alien right here. North Platte, New Hampshire, NE.
That's Nebraska.
Right, so
that's right on the border. I've been to North Platte.
It's
right at the border.
From our friends in North Platte, Nebraska, thank you for Agent Mulder.
I've actually been there in a car.
If this were more Silent Hill, though, the flashlight would be inexplicably in his pocket. You know the thing in the Silent Hill games, or at least the good ones, where you get the flashlight and it's always just like one of those like uppercase R, like a military flashlights they can just like put in a jacket pocket and have it walk around like that. Even with Heather in the third game. Yeah, Nick's asking, what was Gerbsnot saying? He thought someone was cheating on his wife. I'm confused. I don't really know what he was saying either. So that's a matter of no idea. Maybe it's a situation of like Silent Hill where you wander into one of the other characters in the game and they're going on about what it is they're seeing and you don't understand because Silent Hill physically manifests whatever is the torture or fear or hate in your own mind. So maybe that was a matter of him screaming off about God knows what, but we don't know what he's seeing. Now, there's even a little detail. If you look at the flashlight hand on Mulder, you can see there's a little bit of detail of a watch there on the hand. Between the hand and the sleeve itself, there's like a little watch poking out. That's a nice little attention to detail right there. Although this was when McFarlane toys were starting out and articulation, they didn't quite figure out how to have the detail and the articulation in the body. So all they do is like the arms go up a bit. And I got to get some crazy glue to confirm his FBI badge in the little hole right there. Yeah, I just got to get I've got my crazy glue in there to fix that. Like last year, that late 2000s, like the 3 3/4 inch Marvel Legends Punisher toy I got as a present, where the arm snapped off. I just got some glue, put it back in there, and it was perfectly fine. Nick says, I think I got that for you. I can't remember. Referring to, I believe, the Punisher toy from last year, or this one. Not so sure, but it's still absolutely amazing. So, well, we had the substitute Agent Mulder. We called it Agent Mulder because no UFO, but now we've got the actual Agent Mulder right there. Yes.
That came from Nebraska.
Yes, he's ready, and eventually, I want to leave being on the
his face.
That is good as likeness as you would get from a toy from the late 90s. Well, that was the benchmark of McFarlane toys from when they first started to ever since then, is perfectly being able to capture the look of whatever the character is, if it's a fictional character, or when they started getting all the sports licenses with McFarlane. And that's where we had a McFarlane Detroit Red Wings Brett Hull toy that was exactly Brett Hull. And so the badge moves too. That's cool. Just got to be careful or put it slanted in a way so that when you put this arm up, the badge won't fall out. Like that. Although the way I'm paranoid about that stuff. So, yep. I just got to get my crazy glue to put that FBI badge in place. Maybe for a costume party or for an upcoming Halloween, I'll just comb my hair that way and get the suit like this so that I could just be Agent Mulder. I remember at this year's YumaCon where I saw Culpworld. I was there at that anime convention, YumaCon, as Mulder and Scully, and they're fused when I asked if I could take a photo of them. I was like, motherfucker, I look more like Agent Mulder than you do, and you're saying no?
And he said no.
Yeah, they were like walking there just like, oh, no, and walked out.
That's the whole idea about being dressed up.
And let's go with this little boy right here. All right. This is an Amazon package, a real Amazon package, not somebody using an Amazon box. What is that? Oh, ho, ho. Caligula, the Ultimate Cut. Yes, in 2023 official selection at the Cannes Film Festival. Yes, the Tinto Brass historical perverted epic finally in its original form right there, all together. And there's two quotes on the back. One says, glorious from Richard Whitaker of the Austin Chronicle, and the other, a heroic act of preservation from Todd Gilchrist of Variety. Let's see. Tormented by the murder of his family, the young, wary Caligula, Malcolm McDowell, eliminates his devious adopted grandfather Tiberius, Peter O'Toole, and seizes control of the declining Roman Empire as it descends into a spiral of depravity, destruction, and madness. Restoring the complete performances of McDowell and O'Toole, along with fellow film legends Helen Mirren and John Gielgud, this extensive reconstruction of the notorious 1980 spectacle, based on the original narrative as conceived by writer Gore Vidal, has its world premiere at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival. Showcasing the sumptuous costume designs of two-time Oscar winner Danilo Donati, Fellini's Casanova, and Romeo and Juliet, Caligula, the Ultimate Cut features an entirely new score by Troy Sterling Niles, as well as a new animated title sequence by graphic artist Dave McKean. Yes, as in Dave McKean, the artist on Arkham Asylum, A Serious House and Serious Earth, one of the highest selling comic books ever, and the cover artist on all 75 issues of The Sandman. So they put some money and effort and talent into this. Oh, yes. If only all of Rome had one neck. I was born. I was here when the earth was young, and I'll be there before the last star falls for the night. Even though I'm every man, for I am no man, for therefore I am a god. Even though I might here was born as Gaius Caligula, I am forever. Yes, I can play it on my Blu-ray player we've got there. I can do that for sure, definitely. Because, laptops now, after a certain years, stopped having the CD or DVD capability in them. But I've got my Blu-ray player is up and firing, perfectly beautiful, perfectly fine. So just got to get that out there and get the plastic out. Oh, yes. Absolutely amazing. Oh, it's got 2 discs in there. There's the Ultimate Cut, runtime 178 minutes, and the second disc has the original 1980 theatrical version with a runtime of 150 minutes. And this is all done by Draft House Films. They're like a film, like a cult film preservation kind of company. They've done also great work with restoring films like one of my favorite vigilante films of all time, Miss 45. Miss 45, the film that was a main inspiration for Encrypted Divine Justice that I'm doing right now, right down to why the vigilante nun in the story has the sister Mary Tamerlis, as in the star of Miss 45, Zoe Tamerlis, who unfortunately died very young on account of the cocaine and the crack and the speed and the meth. So yeah, so Nick says, I got you that. Or Weatherman says, anyways, Luke, the logo for the X-Files changed each time they changed studios. In their deal with 20th Century Fox, okay, the logo was tied to the studio that was making the show. So that's why, yeah, you had 20th Century, you had Fox, the Fox network for that original run, then for the movie, then the second movie, then the show's revival. Now it makes more sense. And there was something Weatherman also was getting at and saying with all the GURP snot, whatever he was going with. Let's see. Looking for it. Oh, yeah. The movies were not made from the Vancouver or the LA studios, so neither logos could be used for the movies. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And well, the whole thing of changing from after season 5, they went from Vancouver to LA, and then in between, they had the movie where they were filming, all over the place, including actually filming in DC, because the summer that the X-Files came out was like my first summer there, having moved to DC, so you see the DC locations in there. The one time they actually really had real DC locations for the FBI headquarters and scenes like that. You got to see things like Georgetown, M Street, and another big detail is the Red Top Cabs, being the cab company out there. Whether or not DC is another one of those cities that's tried to muscle out Uber or make a thing where like Uber, you're allowed to get an Uber for like one from like New Jersey and go into Manhattan, but the Uber is not allowed to take rides from within the city. If DC is like that with the red top cabs, muscling out Uber, it wouldn't shock me. And now we've got a nice little, right here, one of those nice little bubble mailers. All right, let's get this one up here. Oh, speaking of aliens, take a good look. I mentioned it earlier. There it is. Perfect Christmas time reading and reading for those interested in the UFOs. The one and only national bestseller, Communion, a true story by Whitley Strieber. Yes. Probably the most iconic rendering of the classic Roswell alien ever. Right here, to the point of, in one of the 10 best episodes of the X-Files ever done, the finest performance in the career of Charles Nelson Riley ever, as the title character of Jose Chunks from Outer Space, the titular book that he winds up writing at the end from the abduction investigation that he's asking Agent Scully about. We see her at the end reading the finished book, and the novel's cover is just basically that, but smoking. Because there's a part where one of the aliens that they think is an alien is actually just a military man who's in a costume, a part of a staging abduction. He's there smoking while he's been abducted by a real alien. Right there, yes. Whitley Strieber, the man who, before becoming Mr. UFO because of his own personal experiences and all that, he was already a successful best-selling novelist with 80s novels like The Wolfen and The Hunger, both of which became cult horror films in the 80s. Wolfen being the most forgotten of those big 80s werewolf films. I've never even seen it, so I don't know. The most I know about it was that James Horner was the composer on that in one of his early non-Roger Corman bits of works as a composer before he became a big name composer doing stuff like Braveheart and Aliens. And unfortunately, he died in a plane crash, and the last score that Horner got to do was for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And also The Hunger, which was that movie with David Bowie and Catherine Deneuve and Susan Sarandon, that the vampire from the Wolfen. Wolfen, Wolfen. Yes. Yes, let's see. Yes, right here. Communion stands as the first deeply realized and deeply personal book that about the close encounter experience. As such,
1981.
it has achieved an iconic status in the literature of the strange. Now that it is becoming clear that somebody is indeed here from another world or reality, it stands as a classic. A new introduction by Whitley Strieber brings this extraordinary and important story up to date by including information that he has gathered in the past 30 years of his life, during which his contact experiences have gone from terrifying to fascinating and often sublime.
That's a good cover.
That's the poster for the movie.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
One eyeball.
It is simple. It's memorable. Like this, it's just a face.
Mhm.
Communion starts in terror and in the dark, but now it reaches towards the stars. In earlier editions, the phrase "believe it or don't believe it" was included. That has changed. Without assuming that we are dealing with aliens, it has become obvious that somebody else, not us, is indeed seeking relationship with us. Communion marks the first step ever taken toward the new level of contact that is now unfolding.
Budget was more than
Oh,
film
damn,
made.
that's also the fact that it was a flop, Wolfen from the box office numbers. Very nice. Very beautiful right there. Oh, yes. Communion, communion, communion. Oh, that beautiful. Absolutely great. Absolutely nice. And luckily it's the winter, so my hands won't really get sweaty, and then this all becomes floppy and distorted. I remember I was at the high school library looking through things, and there's a teacher there who noticed me, and he said, "You're handling them like you're handling fine wine." It's more and more of a matter of I don't want to break anything because I'm so accident prone. If you follow me long enough, you've heard my stories of how I'm very easy at shattering anything if I'm not too careful. Or why, when it comes to things I have, I very much prefer stainless steel, mainly for the sake of impact resistance. And let's go into this one right here. What's this big boy? Kiss me, big boy. Get our little knife right around here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, is that better? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Edgar, the skin's hanging from your bones. Sugar and water. Oh, God, God, God. There we are. There we are. Now let's... Oh, we got a little gift receipt right there. And, oh, let's see. This one, actually, enjoy your gift, Mom. This apparently came from my mother. Okay.
What is it?
Let's take a look. And
Picture of her?
no, it's actually a pretty decent, accurate rendering of her. It's the alien from Alien 3, specifically the Alien 3 xenomorph. So, well, thanks, Mom. Let's see.
You wanted that.
It was on my Amazon wish list. Anybody can send anything from the Amazon wish list. It's public information. So it's produced by Haya Toys Company Limited, Shanghai, China. I've heard of these people. I've seen these toys at conventions. They're a great competitor to like NECA and McFarlane Toys. But yes, this one is absolutely beautiful. Exquisite mini Alien 3 dog alien. Yes, the one that comes out of a Rottweiler, not a person. That's the only alien movie that actually does anything else with the concept of the alien life cycle besides a person. I don't even think Alien Romulus did anything new, where it's just popping out of people. Here, well, the theatrical cut, it pops out of a Rottweiler, and then in the assembled cut, it pops out of an ox.
You got a book first?
No, it was the film. They had it where they shot it first as the alien coming out of the oxen, but then they decided to reshoot it where it pops out of a Rottweiler.
Where was it shot in?
London, mostly London. They also did reshoots in LA. I remember there was a Walmart exclusive toy, or it was a Walmart exclusive alien toy that came with the Alien 3 alien, along with the face hugger and egg, and also an actual little movie replica of the Rottweiler from the theatrical cut of Little Spike, with the weird acid burn marks on his face when the guy finds the dog, and it's got the burn marks of the talons of the face hugger on him. What kind of animal would do this to a dog? And when they're cremating the bodies of Newton Hicks, the dog's just like walking around, and then it's laying around there, and you can see like the alien poking from the Rottweiler's stomach until eventually it just bursts out of the Rottweiler and it runs away.
It's inside his stomach.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. I never heard of it till you just said it.
Oh well, you can. A gift for you. Enjoy your gift from Mom. Well, okay, that's.
You gonna sleep with it tonight? Hold it.
That's oh, hey, actually, I like this packaging. This is for the sake of protection. They make it where you have to pull out one layer to the next. Although, let's also go and make a photo collection, photo collage out of these boys. So let's just put it back in the box a little bit so we can get a photo of it. Just for the sake of doing it like we did with all the other ones we've gotten, since this was I've always championed Alien 3, although at the same time, I also do love that assembly cut they did. And also the other one of, at the same time, still being fascinated by the script that they first had. Remember, they first went into production with that idea of it being set on a wooden planet full of people living like Christian monks. And that's where Ripley and the alien crash land. And they had the pitch for it and they said yes, but they said yes and greenlit the film and set a release date before they actually had a script, which was incredibly stupid and dangerous for, you know, how much money and time Fox invested in the franchise.
Fox put money?
Well, it was Fox's franchise. Now Disney owns it.
Oh, they sold it?
Well, no, it was part of when Disney bought 20th Century Fox.
Oh.
That's why now, you know, Home Alone was always 20th Century Fox, but now it's a Disney thing. Okay, it's careful with that.
They put that on the Disney app.
Yep, that's why now, you know, the new, because Predator and Alien were both Fox franchises, now that means that the new comic books that they do of Predator, Alien are now Marvel produced, and now it's Marvel reprinting all of the actually good Alien and Predator comics that Dark Horse did for decades, since Dark Horse started out as like a podunk black and white little indie thing out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where they did Dark Horse Presents as an anthology title that was black and white and, you know, small press. And within 5 years, they went from that to getting the licenses for the Predator, for the Alien franchise, as well as getting the licenses to do Lucasfilm productions, to do comics of that, and also whisking away guys like Frank Miller and John Byrne away from Marvel and DC to go work for them. That's why I remember seeing it at the Mike's Comics and Collectibles in Orlando. They had a copy of the Dark Horse Presents 5th Anniversary Special, and the last comic in that anthology was the first chapter of Sin City. And it was stupid of me to not have that first appearance of Sin City. I could have got that. It was $5. It was, I think the cover price was $5, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, that's just the cover price." Stupid of me to have, you know, not gotten that.
What is it worth now?
If I went on eBay, I bet you, or went to like that mycomicshop.com, I bet you they probably are charging, you know, a nice pretty sum for that. Let's see.
What is that called?
mycomicshop.com. Dark Horse Presents 5th Anniversary Special. That's the name of the comic. That was the first time, that was the first chapter of the first Sin City story first appeared there. Because yeah, the whole first Sin City story was like all anthologized in Dark Horse Presents. Then all the subsequent stories were then, you know, printed as miniseries, except for Family Values, which was done as like a 40-something page one-shot. All right, it's it articulates. See, it's got a nice head movement there. Although I don't want to, I feel I always want to handle these delicately. I don't want to break anything, but yeah, the legs move greatly. Nice, good. You know, it can do those nice Dallas Cowboy cheerleader Rockettes high kicks. Could you imagine the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and having one of the alien xenomorphs there?
They had dolls.
Oh, and hey, they articulate all the way over here. So they don't just go up and down. They can also do this way. Pretty good. I'm just being careful. I don't want to break anything. Oh, and the upper torso does turn left to right. Oh, yeah. Left to right, left to right. There you go. Come on, girls. Show them what you got. Oh, ho. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. And then, oh. And then it goes, you know, you see the Dallas cheerleaders, they do the high kicks, and then they all do the drop into a full split.
Okay, what else is there? What do you got?
Dark Horse Presents 5th Anniversary Special, just like on what people charging for copies on eBay or. It's got a good, nice little the head. Oh, a little detail there. You can see the like skull is translucent to the dome head. That's a nice little detail they got in there.
Goes 55.
Oh, and the hands move too. They go 360, but I don't think they go like, they don't swivel like that, but they do swivel 360, but they don't flap that way. I'm just trying to figure out the mechanics of this so nothing breaks off. And this is absolutely amazing. I've always seen these toys at conventions. Dark Horse presents 5th anniversary special. Yep. Well, that's on the official Dark Horse website. Yeah, it was. I mean, like, if you went to like eBay and see what people are charging for it, that's the official Dark Horse website where they have an archive of everything they've ever published. Oh, yeah, absolutely great. The tail here, tail's all curved up. Well, remember, this is a quadruped. Yeah, because he moves on all fours. So, no, it could probably come. Oh, well, it actually does come with a base. Yeah, there's a little base on here to put it on. Nice little metal grating. Well, remember, because it comes out of a quadruped animal in both cuts of Alien 3. So, oxen or Rottweiler, it comes out of it. Still, its natural instinct is go on all fours. Although there are those moments where, yeah, it is bipedal.
Michael Irvin and Jerry
Jones. There's these. There's an. Oh yeah, trademark and copyright 20th Century Studios. That's what Disney rebranded Fox after they bought them out. 20th Century Fox. I'm trying to figure out where these are. What these little latches go on to. Maybe the box might have a display, but it's kind of out of reach. I have to sort of drag it over here. Or this is why having a beveled ruler or a T-square is always handy for things like this. Oh yeah, I'm able to reach it out. Able to reach. Don't want to knock anything over. I'm very accident prone, as I've mentioned, so I'm trying not to break or anything or drop anything. That's why whenever I get a new phone, I should get the case for it because I am accident prone. The box doesn't really display what it doesn't display like how you're supposed to put these little latches on the platform there, but because your instinct is with these like little grates right there, it's supposed to be put on these little studio. Maybe not. Oh wait, maybe this way. I don't think so. Trying to figure out. Don't want to lose these little loose things here that could wind up breaking something or doing around. It's a choking hazard. Or actually, there's the one nice slat on the platform here, and both heels has a little hole that you can screw them in there to hold them in place. So kind of move it around this way. Oh yeah, there we go. And oh yeah, that is beautiful right there. Oh yes, which direction is it? There we go. Oh yeah. There we go. 3 times the terror, 3 times the suspense. The fear is back, the terror is back, but most of all, the bitch is back. If you remember the trailers for Alien 3, the big line of "the bitch is back" when they would show the shot of Sigourney Weaver pinned to the wall with the alien in its face. The skinhead Sigourney Weaver pinned to the wall with the alien right up there in her face.
There's no toy of Sigourney Weaver.
There have been toys of Sigourney Weaver. That one company, NECA, I know they've done toys of all the major Alien movies, and there is some out there of the bald Sigourney Weaver from the 3rd film. Also, the one from Alien Resurrection where she does the shot where she makes the basket throwing the ball over her head, which Sigourney Weaver really did. Well, she shaved her head for real, but then they did when they were doing those reshoots in LA, they had her. She said no, they just had her wear a bald cap. They had her wear a bald cap for those LA reshoot scenes. And let's see. Well, okay, thank my mother definitely from this one. This is absolutely amazing. This is nice.
From your mother?
I got the little note right there where you get, somebody sends you a gift off your wish list.
What does it say?
A gift for you from mom. Very nice. Very beautiful. Because I remember growing up, we had the Alien Trilogy VHS box set. I remember that because it was in between it was before Alien Resurrection came out, and we had that. I remember. Very nice. Very gorgeous. It's also perfectly, it doesn't just get the likeness right, but also the coloring, that strange dark amber that you see with the alien. Well, at least the scenes of the alien where it's the monster in the suit as opposed to that weird puppet where the size and like the compositing of it was all off, where it looks like the Roadrunner almost. The inconsistent special effects between the prop alien and the real, practical monster suit alien, very different. Well, do you think that this alien and this alien would be friends? I wonder. So do you think that that alien would be friendly with this one?
No.
No, not at all. Or actually, our friend here, Agent Mulder, would Mulder be friendly? Which alien would be friendly with Mulder right here? Would Mulder be friends with this one, the Roswell classic from the classic abduction memoir, or our friend right here that explodes out of people?
The black one.
With the tongue, with the mouth for a tongue, the little mouth for the tongue. I won't get you with my mouth. I'm gonna get you with my little mouth too. Oh yeah, but they sure are good. 7-Up's the whole reason I came down here. I hope you don't mind if I pay in pennies. This is all as beautiful as Cartman getting his Swiss colony beef log. If you remember that Mr. Hanky Christmas song.
Mr. Hanky?
Yes, Mr. Hanky's Christmas Classics, that South Park Christmas album they did, the Swiss colony beef log song.
Like Hanky handkerchief?
No, Hanky like shit. He's a talking piece of Christmas poo.
Is it actual shit?
Yes, Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo.
I did not know. I wouldn't have said that.
And this one, all right, we have got it open.
You can literally call it a piece of shit.
Right there. Now let's get this open. This beautiful boy, this big boy, all right here. Oh, we got a top one. Oh, ho, 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 yes. Moorcock's Multiverse Volume 1. Yes, my love of the work of the perennial fantasy writer of the boomer generation, Michael Moorcock. Right here, having another piece to my Michael Moorcock library from Titan Comics reprints of all the licensed comic adaptations of Michael Moorcock's novels. Here is the comic book series that was part of the very brief imprint that DC had called Helix. It was a science fiction imprint that they had. The one big success that the Helix imprint had was Transmetropolitan. That's why when the Helix imprint folded, they kept that Transmetropolitan going, but just moved it over to Vertigo. And one of the other ones was Moorcock's Multiverse right here. I'm gonna get you with my little mouth too. Yeah, that parody they did of Aliens with the Bruce the performance artist. That's that character's name, that like ambiguously black or biracial, whatever gay guy that's just appears in the show and has a little vest. It's that little voice like on Family Guy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you with my mouth. I'm gonna get you with my little mouth too. This is, and also remember, everything in the Michael Moorcock library is also a nice hardcover. So when it comes to impact resistance and all that I'm talking about, it's easier to handle this like it's fine wine because that, and also don't forget, it's not just Michael Moorcock work. And this isn't just, these aren't official adaptations of his books. This is a mini series that they did where it's Michael Moorcock writing based off of existing characters of his, including, of course, Elric of Melniboné, as seen rendered by the inimitable Walt Simonson, the only man who could ever hold a candle to Jack Kirby with his work on Thor in Simonson's star-making work on Thor in the 80s. The only other time that Thor's really been consistently readable besides the original Kirby stuff from back in the time of when my father was in high school. Oh yeah, look at that. There's the New Adventures of the Eternal Champion, Michael Moorcock's Multiverse. Even so, you see right there, they reprint the cover, and there's the Helix logo up top. It was actually an anthology series where it was 3 Michael Moorcock stories, all in each issue. And in them you see Moonbeams and Roses with art by Walt Simonson, The Meta-Temporal Detective with art by Mark Reeve, and Duke Elric by John Ridgway. Oh yes, the Elric of Melniboné, the White Wolf, the man that The Witcher is plagiarized from, and even opens with a little sort of EC Comics thing of a caricature of Michael Moorcock introducing the first story right there, looking like a really fat David Attenborough.
They never sued them?
No. He thought about it with but never did. There's a, well, at least that's like late 90s rendering of Michael Moorcock. Now he's all gray, but also he's in his early 80s. So, him not being the spry kind of a looking man he was before is easy to understand. Oh yes, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Walt Simonson, he had the imagination, and he had the visual imagination as well as the drawing skill to make that kind of large-scale science fiction stuff work. That's why when it comes to people in the Fantastic Four, his run that only ran a couple years is still absolutely brilliant of writing and drawing the Fantastic Four. Oh, yes, right there. Look at that Simonson beauty. Full bleed, biatch. Right there, full bleed.
what it says.
No. That's the comic printing technique of having the artwork go all the way out to the farthest edge of the page right there. To the left there is full bleed. That's the name of it. As opposed to comic book pages where you've got that whole edge, the white edge around your panels and all of that. Like these pages, that's an example of more conventional where there's the white border around the panels. But then there's the other style is called full bleed, where it goes all the way out to the furthest edge, like the figure here on this page to the right, down there, to the point of, I remember when looking at that and wondering how that was done. I remember the one comic shop in Orlando I'd go to, Epic Comics. They had Tony Daniel there doing a signing while he was writing and drawing Detective Comics, and I took that type of blue, non-photo blue line Bristol board. That's the comic book style art drawing board. And I said, okay, how do you frame a page with these non-photo blue lines to, what's the difference between the regular page with the gutters and all that and the page where the work goes all the way out to the edge, and explain, okay, here's how you do it. This main area here, if you, it says here to keep all your lettering in this area. Do that because then that way you make sure this area always gets printed properly. And you see this one last little perforated line, make your artwork, if you want to go full bleed with your page, have the artwork go all the way out to that one last perforated line before you get to the solid line. Don't have that don't have the artwork bleed out to that full solid line, or else that will get cut off by the printing process. He had one of those 2mm lead holders that he was doing all his drawing with at the signing. So he just went there and you did little demonstrations right there on the board right there. And I took all that stuff to heart, because when you're self-taught, whatever sort of professional insight that an actual working professional can give you, you take it and you go out there and you do it. I mean, you have to be a magpie about those things. You have to be, a junkyard magnet about those things, just scrounging up whatever professional inside baseball you can get. That's another reason why the Ethan Van Sciver channel, his YouTube channel, was for a guy who Ethan Van Sciver's channel is called Comic Artist Pro Secrets. There's been little to nothing of him actually giving pro secrets about comic art in the last 8 years or so. Yeah, because it's pure egotism. Like I mentioned the video he did early on where he went into a Michaels and showed you how you can buy professional comic art supplies for less than $100 to make your own comic. He went right there, he showed it off, and also like the basic stuff, like here's how you draw. Here's the secrets of figure drawing superheroes. Here's 1-point perspective or 2-point perspective. Or those videos you do where he would say, like, the title would be like, anyone can draw Reverse Flash, anyone can draw the Joker. And he would just draw the Joker while talking about whatever. And he wasn't really like explaining the ins and outs of drawing the Joker properly. But I mean, it was still better than him, being a lolcow loser, jealous of Eric July. Well, that is still a beautiful piece right there. And also it's articulated. That's the thing about, I mentioned earlier, you've got how far toy constructions come from, the 80s and early 90s, how toys were. And then McFarlane came in like a bat out of hell and started making them. No, we can really make the sculpts look beautiful. Like this is, you've got a little David Duchovny with you. There are a lot of women in the 90s that are jealous of me right now because I've got a little David Duchovny that can carry with me anytime I want. With them, the best they would have to do is to probably go and get a vibrator and name it Mulder, or just call it David, and then play that, put that up inside them when they're watching X-Files or Red Shoe Diaries, or even if they're really kinky, watching when he would play himself on the Larry Sanders Show where he's in love with Gary Shandling and trying to sleep with him all the time. And they're probably the early days of the internet. They probably are the kinds that were writing and like publishing on Usenet, Larry Sanders, David Duchovny / fiction of them in love, or maybe even artwork, early yaoi art of Gary Shandling and David Duchovny as lovers. There was in the early days of the internet, that was like the big online forum thing in the days of when dial-up was new. And dial-up where you try to talk on the phone when using the internet with dial-up, and it sounds like if a speak and spell was summoning the demon girl from The Ring. Yes, that. Like what you would expect, like what you expect to hear when you answer the phone after watching the tape in The Ring. That. But yeah, look at this where it's got the likeness right, but the articulation, you feel like if you move the parts that do move too much, you might break something. But then from there to now, a company that is not the big dog. The big ones out there is always, it's McFarlane Toys. But then you look at competitors like Haya right here. This is Haya Toys out of China. And this thing, it's got the beautiful sculpt, exactly the likeness of the specifically Alien 3 version of the alien. And also the arm, it's got the full range of motion of like the human figure. The head, as much as you can with this giant penis-shaped head. The arms and all that, well, the hands can go 360, and you've got even the knees, the weird sort of things where with its hind legs can kind of bend backwards and forwards at the same time, like a pelican can, kind of pelican legs. Although this still is much more, sturdy than, Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash with his pelican legs, where he falls to the ground and his quad explodes on him walking across a ring. Oh, this is beautiful stuff. Now, John Ridgway is a name I've heard of, but you can see his artwork. He also does the full bleed kind of stuff there too with his panels. I'm guessing that was just how Michael Moorcock wrote his comic book scripts. And the thing with Michael Moorcock, he's in his 80s now and still writing. He makes a joke that, unlike, it's funny that Michael Moorcock's work, him being one of the first real, like him being the godfather of dark fantasy, where his heroes of his cycles of different characters he would write the novels around were all, dark or morally ambiguous or even outright evil. Like his most famous character, Elric of Melniboné, is closer to a villain even than an anti-hero. Like the first story of Elric he wrote was a magazine editor told him to write a Conan-style fantasy story. He went, okay, but he wrote it and used that to write the anti-Conan. Instead of this buff, swarthy bodybuilder destined to be the king, destined to wear the jeweled crown of Aquilonia upon a troubled brow with a heavy Austrian accent, you got this anorexic, drug-addicted albino who is doomed to be slain. And is doomed to even kill the one he loves the most. Yeah. And that's where Elric came from. And then all the other fantasy heroes that Michael Moorcock would write, and all of them wound up all being weaved into this multiverse, where he was the first guy to really use the concept of multiple universes, and all of them being some incarnation of the Eternal Champion. Where every generation in every universe, there's always a new embodiment of the Eternal Champion that gets reincarnated to battle chaos in the name of order. Yes, the cosmic shift, the cosmic forces in the multiverse of Michael Moorcock's fiction is order versus chaos. And the moral ambiguity of having an outright evil duke who is destined to be the ruler of a disgusting land like Melniboné that basically is like Epstein's Island as a fantasy empire. And that guy is the incarnation of the Eternal Champion meant to fight against chaos in the name of order. So yeah, the moral quandary of that is already right in there. Here's actually, you've got this one. You have the last page of this one story with this one artist here, and then immediately go from that to the Moonbeams and Roses chapter that has Walt Simonson. Right there, you see the difference between the guy on the right that almost looks like a guy who you would expect to be, illustrating like sweet books for kids, like that artist Charles Vess that's worked with Neil Gaiman a bunch. And then you have that angular, intense, kinetic as all hell Jack Kirby at terminal velocity on quintuple espresso, like I had this morning. Definitely, there's more than one way to skin a cat, for sure. And let's see, Weatherman's got some information about Alien 3. The Alien movie I champion out of all of them more as much as the original. And I don't care who knows it, although so many people get so hyped about that first script they commissioned for Alien 3 that William Gibson was writing, which was basically just more of Aliens instead of an actual, Alien 3. It would have just been Aliens 2, they should have called it. But since then, that script got a comic book adaptation and even like an audible audio adaptation where they got Michael Biehn and Lance Henriksen to do voice acting for it. I want to see something like that of the Vincent Ward Alien 3 that they went into production with the wooden planet full of monks. Now, the director of What Dreams May Come wanted to make a movie about a wooden planet full of Christian monks, and the alien comes and they think it's the devil, and that the Sigourney Weaver showing up, bringing this with her, she's a demon sorceress that brought the devil down to destroy them. Yes, Nick, this is the volume 1 of Michael Moorcock's Multiverse. It ran 12 issues, I believe. So this is, I think, the first 6 issues, if the fates align. Let's see. Usually in the inside cover, they explain, originally published the issues here, but not quite. Oh, but look at that beauty. Okay, just check out this early Walt Simonson work right here. And imagine if you looked at a two-page spread like this while you were tripping on something. It's like when I was flipping through that digest size reprint of the Kirby Avengers issues at Liberty Comics, and I was like, no. People say that 60s comic people would trip and look at would be tripping on acid while reading Doctor Strange. Well, take a look at what you'd see in those early issues of the Avengers, and that's just as much to get you fucking high as looking at that. But I mean, okay. Well, yeah, it looks like a lot more than 6 issues. Well, yeah, it's pretty nicely done. Well, Titan Comics, they do a really great job on this. Like what I was saying before about my trilogy of procrastination that I finally was able to finish last year, like those stories, like this is the format that French comic books usually printed in. Not at this dimensions. Usually like French comics are like 9x12 or so, but still, a nice good, like a more limited page count that's like maybe 2 or 3 monthly comic, in that page count put together as one solitary story. You can read as an individual story, and it usually gets a nice, good, hardcover presentation like this. The Glenna bande dessinée, the bande dessinée. Oh, what is this one? I don't want to know what this one is. Oh, ho, ho, and the UFO train keeps on going. This one is Missing Time, a documented study of UFO abductions by Bud Hopkins, the guy who probably was the foremost expert on UFO cases during his lifetime. The guy who started out as an abstract artist, and then he wrote an article in the Village Voice about a close encounter of the first kind he had, and that led to people sending him letters about their own encounter experiences, and that led to a second career of him being a ufologist, to the point of being featured on PBS and also on Unsolved Mysteries. And if I'm remembering right, one of the stories that's in this book, Missing Time, was documented. One of the subjects in this book was also featured in that segment of Unsolved Mysteries, where they showed Bud Hopkins talking to this black Navy guy who went missing for a couple hours. And it turns out, oh yeah, he was abducted when he started going through regression therapy. And when he read another Hopkins book called Intruders, he read it because on the cover illustration had, the classic look like this, and he was like, okay, what's this? It's like I've seen that face somewhere before personally. And that's where, in reading Bud Hopkins' book in Truth, he wound up contacting Hopkins and going through regression therapy and going through how, oh no, I was abducted. Bad enough, when it talks about the adversity of the brother man. There you are, you were brother man in the 60s, and there you are stationed in New England in the military, and then some random alien crackerhead motherfuckers take you, and then they put something up your ass. It's like, bitch, if I wanted something up my ass, I go to prison. I don't need to go be put up on no spaceship, get no anal probe and shit. Motherfucker, ain't that a bitch? Well, then I watched the tape of when I was under hypnosis. And when I got the probe, I took it like a bitch. I was there going, oh shit, son! No, not the probe! Ow! Mama said lock my ass. Mama said lock my ass. I was watching X-Files. I see that Scully, that white bitch Scully, like, oh, I got abducted. I got some metal in my neck. Bitch, I got metal locked up my ass because I locked my ass and I broke the probe off and it's stuck in my ass. I haven't taken a shit since 1973 because the metal blocking my ass. Motherfucking cracker bitch. Fucking cracker ass bitch. Skanky ass bitch. Are you laughing, biatch? Stupid bitch. Yes. Oh, and Nick brings up another detail. When I was talking earlier about dial-up, Nick mentions, in Terminator 3, the TX made the dial-up sound when it got the cell phone. Yeah, the lady that she kills her, takes her car and her pantsuit, and then starts doing the dial-up thing to scramble for like all of John Connor's lieutenants. I'll give Terminator 3 credit where they expand the idea more than just killing John Connor. It's also killing Connor and also killing all the people that would then grow up to be his like major, military leaders next to him. Although it's funny, she goes up to one guy and it turns out he's just like he works drive-thru like a Burger King. And he's like, is this your name? Yes. And then she kills him and then goes another one, then starts going after John Connor. Yes. Or as Weatherman brings up, dial-up modem, dude. 56K bits per second was a really dark place. Thank God someone figured out DSL, and that is but that is going the way of the dinosaurs too. Oh yeah. Let's see what else. Also talking about of course, me being a connoisseur of all things Alien 3, I know all about the notorious Alien 3 has become a watchword when it comes to troubled productions in the history of Hollywood, where, yeah, the studio screwed David Fincher, the director. They re-edited and had reshoots against his will and even like fired him off the set in the middle of editing. Or I've heard contradictory reports of they locked David Fincher out of the editing room, or he walked out on the production while they were editing and reshooting in LA because of how miserable the experience was while he was filming in Pinewood Studios. To the point of what's funny is there's one famous story of how there was a scene that was in what they were scripting, because when they did go into production, they had like 40 pages of a script and they were writing the rest of the script as they were shooting. I'm guessing they were hoping for like a miracle, like what happened with Casablanca, where, of course, now, as all film historians know, back in the 40s, the film Casablanca, they were shooting the movie with an unfinished script, so the writers were literally writing the scenes like the day before they'd be shot. And I'm guessing they were hoping that lightning would strike twice with Alien 3, but it didn't. At least with public perception of the movie. I mean, I've always championed it. But yeah, so... and on top of that, the one big scene of after Sigourney Weaver finds out she's got the alien inside her, she goes down to the one room where she thinks the alien is hiding there, and she's talking. She's like, "You've been in my life so long, I know I can't remember anything before you. Do what you do best, just die." And that scene was something the producers were yelling at David Fincher to not make. So what he did was he got himself one camera and like a skeleton crew with Sigourney Weaver when the producers weren't looking, and shot that scene in like a few hours on that limited set when the producers were distracted. And that scene they shot wound up in both cuts of the film, theatrical and assembly cut. That is fascinating. Oh, and look at this, another detail. The little mouth comes out. You see, you push it in there. There it is. And then if you pull a little, or you shake it a little, the tongue mouth comes out. I'll get you with my little mouth too. Oh yeah, there it is. You see? The little tongue mouth, it pops out. You have to like be careful or else it might break. Like this has great articulation, but I'm just trying to be careful with it because, accident prone, might break things easily. Yeah. And the reshoots that changed the story and vision. Remember, when they were filming in London, that's where the alien was going to burst out of an oxen. But then the LA reshoots is where it bursts out of the Rottweiler. Yeah. And those the early dark days of the internet with dial-up and Usenet. One of the earliest fandoms to grow of a TV show from the internet being the X-Files, as well as Mystery Science Theater 3000. Like the growth of the internet, I know that, yeah, you had Trekkies and all that, but those were pre-established fandoms, like with Trekkies. And then when the internet came around, that just meant the way they communicated through like letters or through newsletters or through fanzines or whatever like that, or correspondences in some other way. Now it just, all migrated to the internet for the most part. And also, Nick, remember that when McFarlane did the toys for Terminator 3? I remember seeing them at Tower Records, the one where it's the McFarlane toy of Arnold, where he's got the coffin over his one shoulder. He's lugging the coffin over one shoulder, and he's got the M60 in the other. Because the coffin of Sarah Connor is just full of machine guns. Let's see what else there. Alien 3, the Alien 3 that hit the theaters was okay. It just had moments that were disjointed. That's my major complaint, and also killing Ripley at the end. Although I would say, as much as I like Prometheus, Prometheus feels more like a film that was shot incoherently and filmed where they were just making shit up in the middle of production. While Alien, the main thing with Prometheus is the idea of its religious themes of, creation versus evolution and all that, and the idea of creation, the idea of gods. And yet, I think Alien 3, that went into filming with an unfinished script, had a more direct and focused idea of dealing with religious themes of damnation and, redemption or salvation through sacrifice. That was the main thing with the thematic need or importance of Sigourney Weaver's death at the end, of her salvation through killing herself by falling into the furnace to save the world from the xenomorph. And that's actually why the ending of the theatrical cut, where as she's falling into the furnace, the alien bursts out of her, but she's grabbing it and holding it as she's falling. I like that better than the assembly cut where she just falls and she just goes to the fire and doesn't appear. Let's see. Missing Time. Originally published in 1981, this pioneering work by Bud Hopkins was the first focused study of an enigma that would come to captivate the world and challenge our understanding of the universe. The influence of Missing Time was such that its title is now deeply embedded in the lexicon of UFO studies. On a side note, how important that is, Missing Time was a plot device in the pilot of the X-Files. Missing Time. That's how big it is with UFO circles now. Synonymous with that most controversial and troubling of topics, alien abduction. At the time of its writing, Hopkins could not have predicted the impact of Missing Time, not only with ufology, but in popular culture worldwide. The facts, stories, and theories presented herein lay the foundation for the first mainstream debates surrounding reports of human encounters with small, gray-skinned entities, non-human beings with hypnotic black eyes who came silently in the night for their own mysterious purposes. These vivid descriptions, as documented by Hopkins, would trigger buried memories worldwide in people from all walks of life, to the extent that the so-called Greys now represent the dominant cultural imaging of an alien life form. Missing Time is a comparative study of individuals distinct from one another in their life circumstances, separated by geography, but connected by their shared experience of a disturbing mystery with profound implications, an essential addition to the library of any serious scholar of the anomalous, and all who dare to explore the physical, psychological, and spiritual extremities of human experience. I do know that one of the big visual things I have to put into the back with encrypted Divine Justice is because it takes place almost immediately after the end of Save the Future, where all alien life hiding out on Earth comes to Times Square and they all expose themselves to the public for the first time. That means that how the massive paradigm shift of proving aliens that not only are real but are living on Earth, now that means, at least with background details, since the story's set in New York, where Save the Future ended, that means I'll do a lot of background visuals of, how the world has changed now with aliens being on the open, like having, the classic gray aliens and the Nordic aliens and all of that, just like being background extras you'd see as like tourists in Times Square or in Central Park feeding birds or what have you, or maybe even doing street performances, like, like a gray that speaks English on the corner now as a street performer reading people's minds for change and things like that, just right alongside somebody with a guitar, playing a subway stop for change. Yes. And actually, Nick says, yeah, I remember that one, the McFarlane toy from Terminator 3 of Arnold with the coffin in one hand and the M60 in the other, the big rail gun, like the one that Jesse Ventura used in Predator, Payback Time, with his Australian, like, bushman slouch hat. Yeah, that Australian bushman, like, wild big game hunter slouch hat that he was wearing. The body, as he called himself, even though Elle Macpherson was more worthy of that nickname than him. Nichols says, my TX endoskeleton figure, I think, is the only Terminator figure I have from McFarlane. Well, I remember seeing them. Of course, there was, Kristana Loken in that little pantsuit, although, I don't know why, but I didn't recognize her from either when I would see her on Boy Meets World all the time, or when she had a recurring role in Happily Ever After. I know she also was on that live-action Mortal Kombat show for the season it watched, but I've never seen that show, so I wouldn't have known back then. Let's see. There's other things here. It's another one. It's another firm one. Let's see what this one.
Is this from your mother?
No, this is all Nick. And oh, hey. We got a match set. Michael Moorcock's Multiverse Volume 2. So that means the complete run of Michael Moorcock's Multiverse now is part of my copies of the Michael Moorcock Library. Original stories of different major iconic incarnations of Michael Moorcock's Eternal Champion character.
How many did you do?
There were 12 issues of this. It was part of DC. Remember, the DC Helix imprint that this was one of the flagship titles under only lasted a year, and the only one that was remembered from then on is Transmetropolitan, and that they just moved over to DC's Vertigo imprint, which was a well-oiled machine at that time.
He did 12.
Well, he did 12 issues of Michael Moorcock's Multiverse. Well, it's also the thing of considering that this imprint by DC was launched in 97, the year after the speculator boom had collapsed so hard that 96 was when Marvel filed for bankruptcy, and DC, in that sort of wake with that sort of bottom falling out of the speculator boom in comics of the 90s, they tried to do a science fiction imprint, which, I know credit for hanging their balls out there at a time when, everybody else was collapsing. They're trying to expand. And we've got Donnie in the chat and Tyranitar in the chat. Merry Christmas to Donnie and Merry Christmas to Tyranitar. Oh, yes. Yes. The concluding chapter of Michael Moorcock's astonishing multiverse saga. Yes, the Multiverse Volume 2. Let's see. Actually, let's go and read the back of Volume 1, but first, let me get some water. Oh, yeah. There we go. The multiverse is under attack, and the universe will never be the same again. Presenting the first volume of Michael Moorcock's astonishing multiverse saga. With Michael Moorcock acting as narrator, this groundbreaking story takes the reader on an incredible multi-dimensional adventure that ingeniously intertwines three separate storylines from the Eternal Champion novels into one multi-millennial epic saga, uniting Elric of Melniboné, Sir Seaton Beg, Sam Oakenhurst, and Rose von Beck in a quest to stop the criminal mastermind Silverskin from destroying not just the universe, but the entire multiverse too. With appearances from many of Moorcock's most famous characters, including Jerry Cornelius, Prince Coram, and Gaynor the Damned. Yes, two starting star players of Michigan's national championship season last year, Cornelius and Coram, being two different versions of Michael Moorcock's Eternal Champion. Yes.
Literally the words coming out of my mouth.
I don't think there's ever been a Michigan player named Gaynor, however. Cornelius and Coram, yes, but those are just coincidences. In Moonbeams and Roses, drawn by Walt Simonson, hero Jack Karazquazian does battle in a meta-universal game of chance, whilst in Duke Elric, drawn by John Ridgway, Elric the Albino Emperor is magically transported to the Middle East in 1000 AD and must embark on a quest to return home. While in The Meta-Temporal Detective, drawn by Mark Reeve, ace detective Sir Seaton Beg and his companion Dr. Taffy Sinclair investigate a series of seemingly unrelated crimes involving Adolf Hitler. Okay. Let's see what Volume 2. The concluding chapter of Michael Moorcock's astonishing multiverse saga. As the multiverse trembles under the apocalyptic threat of Silverskin, three iconic heroes from across time and dimensions are drawn together by a common cause. In 1930s Nazi Germany, Countess Rose von Beck, Count Zodiac, Dr. Taffy Sinclair, and Sir Seaton Beg team up with Frank Cornelius in the search for Silverskin, seeking help from the legendary Jerry Cornelius.
This guy used drugs?
Actually, no.
The author?
No, never. He actually gets defensive about that, of saying, people think, oh, you had to be pulling on the acid to make this. Is like, that's really undercutting the power of the human brain. The human brain can imagine all kinds of things without drugs and be able to do all kinds of amazing things without drugs. So
people would look at me like I'm nuts if I said that.
While in the 1000 AD Sahara, Duke Elric is reunited with his sword, Stormbringer. And yes, that is where Deep Purple got the name of that song and the album from, Stormbringer. They ripped it off from the sword that Elric uses. And his dragon, Flameflang, that might have been used somewhere else by some other metal band I've never heard of. Or maybe it's like a fanzine. Somebody used Flameflang or Stormbringer as like a fantasy RPG, fanzine thing. Flame Fang, one word, in his quest for a mythical horn that can open a portal and return him at last to the Palace of Silverskin. And in the Terminal Cafe, Biloxi, Michael Moorcock, Professor Pop, Jack Karazquazian, and the Rose race to bring all the heroes together for one final confrontation with King Silverskin for the future of not just the universe, but the entire multiverse. Illustrated by Walt Simonson, John Ridgway, and Mark Reeve, this collection brings to a close one of Michael Moorcock's most extraordinary adventures. Yes. And when it comes to, silly sounding or unfortunate sounding names for, British people, I would have to say Moorcock is definitely the big one. The most, oh my God. The most, oh my God, you poor soul. You poor soul. Let's just hope, growing up in post-war England, that they thought it had something to do with chicken farming. Maybe, never know. I'm hoping so with that man. Thing about Bud Hopkins, though, the author of Missing Time, it's interesting how he was able to still get to maintain his career as an abstract artist in the New York art scene while simultaneously, finding his other career as this UFO expert. That's creative. That's interesting. That is a guy how he was able to do that with how snooty the art world can be in New York. I mean, good on him. And now, all right. Let's get this one. And this is a heifer right here. Oh, yeah. I'm guessing this was from Nick. I know the Caligula and the Moorcock was all Nick, and the abduction ones were all Nick. Yeah. All right. Oh, wait, let me click off. There's that ads thing. Skip ads. How do we open this boy? Oh, there actually are nice instructions right there. Yeah, just simply pull to open. All right, it's like the TARDIS in Doctor Who. Oh, those instructions pull to open. All right, now let's go and got to sort of rip off in pieces there, but and probably better to just cut it this way. All right, there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that sounds beautiful, don't it? Oh yeah. That. Ooh. And now let's slow this down so I don't wind up poking anything important. Oh, this is a beautiful heifer I can feel. Which one was this boy? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Diane Henson, The Art of Pinup, right there. Oh, yes. Classic pinups of that day and age of the... there was an Amazon documentary about Hugh Hefner that was multi-parts. And the first part they talk about his upbringing and all that. They mention about his love of Esquire magazine. And when he got out of the military, his first job out of the military was working with Esquire. And one of the main things he loved was they would regularly have always each month a pinup piece like this. A few years back, Esquire did a thing where they would have an actress posing in a way of recreating the classic pinups they would put in there. And that's part of what he did when he founded Playboy. The centerfold that he did in Playboy was inspired by the those pinups that they would put in Esquire, the pinup paintings. Careful you don't show any nudity from that on the stream. Well, I'm not sure if these would... Oh, God, so he looks like Rikishi. Looks... Oh, yeah, let's get this. This was a beautiful piece right here. Oh, yeah. Let's get this right out there. Oh, this is a big one, a beautiful one. Definitely, you can say that this will inspire a lot more promotional pieces for things like Encrypted when it comes to Little Miss Fiona. Well, so far, wow, look at these. A nice, good stock. I wonder who published this. I'm assuming it's that one big... Oh, yes, Taschen. Yeah, they're the big fancy, French art book, French coffee table art book company. Yeah, because there's just English, Dutch, and French. That's the languages that the text is in this book here. And they show us side by side of photo reference that models were used, and then we got to see what they really do, including this isn't collecting one specific artist. This is different artists working around. Oh, here's a beautiful one. Lots of pink in this one. And no, not pink taco, just a lady right there. A nice big duvan, looking very happy. Yeah, the Taschen there, that type of, what I was saying about Bud Hopkins, his work as an abstract artist, that, uppity, sophisticated art world, in honor of Forever Lost, when he was talking about, the people in New York that live in the brownstones, the brownstone Bolsheviks, I was calling them. Yeah, those types. Oh, well, the inside cover here, the front flap does have a naked lady piece, and she's posing like she's a bookend, and the one right next to her is called The Naked Truth, and another one called Bare Facts. Like some you'd see out of those nudist magazines that would come from Sweden or Germany. That was a way that was that was a way to look at the titties like that before Playboy was a thing. Let's see, the artists listed in here, they've got a... Here's one. There's many guys like Zoe Mozart, George Petty IV, Alberto Vargas. Oh, yes, the all-time great there. Gil Elfgren's another big one I've heard of. Gil Elfgren is one I heard of from J. Scott Campbell. J. Scott Campbell saying when it came to his artistic influences, he listed Gil Elfgren as important as important to his artwork as Arthur Adams or Jim Lee. Let's see, in 196, page 196. Oh yeah, Oh, beauty parade. There's one. There's well, these aren't naked ladies. These aren't naked ladies, but they're still naughty ladies. Oh yeah. Remember, for that time there of post-war America, they might as well have just, had their legs spread wider than Margot Robbie on a movie set and just strumming that slash trap, screaming, "Give me that dick." Do you know how to kiss? How to find your mate? Wink, a whirl of girl. All the kind of stuff that was the I was saying before about Playboy. Basically, what they were doing was trying to give you that artistic side. This is the class version. But it's more artistic and more mature than those other magazines that you would have seen Betty Page in from that time. The ones that those photographers like Irving Klaw would do.
Irving Klaw.
Yes, and his sister were the photographers that Betty Page did a lot of her work with in that time. Then also did work with Bunny Yeager. That was the work that you would see in Playboy or in I mentioned nudist magazines earlier. Yep. Oh, here's that. Yeah, this boy up here. Oh, there's a big one. Why, here we got ourselves a lady. Now, I know one of the things to watch every year is It's a Wonderful Life. I saw the E! Channel airs 24 hours of It's a Wonderful Life. And one thing there that I joke about with the movie, the way people joke about with Home Alone, is that, why doesn't Kevin McAllister just call the cops? Well, in It's a Wonderful Life, the thing there is, why is Jimmy Stewart feeling so suicidal when he's married to Donna Reed? For a man in the 1940s, that is hitting the jackpot. That is having a fully nude, fully ovulating Sydney Sweeney waiting on you hand and foot all day long for 1946, I think is when the movie came out. Thank God that was not me as the angel Clarence, because I would have just looked at him and said, George, here is your wife. Here is your wife. You have nothing to be suicidal about, you douchebag. Go home and give her some pickle tickle. Do it now before I go and do it for you. There, okay? First world problem having motherfucker. Would you agree? Why is Jimmy Stewart suicidal in that movie when he's married to Donna Reed?
Because he paid to act. That's why. In reality, he'd be insane. I don't think he'd be that insane. Here's
one that probably might also get the stream demonetized, but it's a nice piece done by Mr. Gil Elfgren of a lady looking over her shoulder. She's posing in front of a mirror with a towel over her naughty bits, but from behind we see she's got a very visible tan line around her back and ass from a backless one piece that she was wearing when tanning.
How was that banned?
That's sort of even that near nudity. Maybe I think we can do this if I just show the one. This is the piece I'm describing right here, right there. Ain't that nice with a little bit of a tan back there? Weatherman brings up another detail about It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, he's so suicidal, so sad. And Weatherman brings up, yeah, he had 4 kids with her too. So that means Jimmy Stewart's character was hitting that Donna Reed ass a lot too, or at least 4 times. 4, times where he hit the bullseye. So okay, but now you know why I only ever saw a part of It's a Wonderful Life last year.
Me and your mother had no. We had sex 4 times. That's what that proved.
And actually, growing up, I remember we had It's a Wonderful Life on VHS and never put it on.
It was a showpiece.
It was like it's like, yuppie people in the 80s who had a copy of like The Art of the Deal on their coffee table when they like bring chicks home, or like American Psycho. One of those books that you just put there to show off, like, oh, here, like with that, or, oh, if you got like a print of some painter on the wall, if you were in like a rich prick in New York in the 80s and you had like a Julian Schnabel original on your wall or a Basquiat on your wall. Look at how artistic I am by, owning someone else's work. Well, here's one that looks like something that Frank Cho would draw in the present day in his Liberty Meadows comic strip, where you don't see any of the naughty bits, but you got a lady putting on something, and clearly she just had a little bit of skinny dipping fun, like Anne Francis in Forbidden Planet when she's swimming there, and Leslie Nielsen walks by to say, she's like, why don't you come in? Oh, I didn't bring my bathing suit. And Anne Francis says, what's a bathing suit? showing that even back in the 50s, the ladies still couldn't get enough Leslie Nielsen, whether it was Anne Francis in her prime in the 50s or Anna Nicole in her prime in the mid-90s. Although I hope that Anne Francis' character in that film wasn't a chick with a dick, secretly, like with Anna Nicole in that movie in Naked Gun 3. But here's what I've got. Tell me that doesn't look like something straight from the portfolio of Frank Cho that he would have done. Right there. Oh, yeah, that is beautiful. That is amazing. That is astounding. And also a nicely rendered parrot. And that foliage, yes. What was that in the Ali G movie? They asked, Ali G's asked in an interview of, well, America's had strong ties with the U.S. What do you think of Bush? Me love Bush. Me love anything that gives foliage to the Punani area. Well, if you like your women a little more uptown, but still, definitely naughty, then look at this lady with her dog. Yes, fair. You can tell she's rich, but then take a look at that. And hello, hello, hello to Abe. Abe, right there. Welcome. Straight out of the UK, where it's got to be, 5 hours ahead. So, oh, yeah. Nice to see Abe coming right there. No, and that parrot wasn't dead. He's just pining for the fjords, as Weatherman like to remind you there. Oh, yes. This was a big, beautiful piece when it comes to the ladies. All right, well. Here's another one, although considering that kite next to her is painted like the French flag, I'm sure she actually likes to show off in as well. Oh, yes, I want to tantalize you, American. I want you to look at me. Look at these legs, American. Look at these titties. Look at the little strap going loose. You like to see what I'm doing there, American? Oh. You little American filth, I want you to see me, yes. I hate American filth, but I want American men to drool over my body. I want an American man to invade me like he's a Nazi and take my pussy the way Hitler took France back in the 40s. No, it's another one. And it could be it's Peter Dryden. It's signed, but he does have a similar style to Alberto Vargas, Alberto Vargas was the regular pinup artist that they had in Playboy from when it started in the 50s all the way up until about the 80s. And if I remember right, around the time he created The Rocketeer, Dave Stevens was actually offered to take over as the regular monthly pinup artist for Playboy and turned them down. Yes. Turned down regular work in Playboy, but a close friend of his, Olivia de Berdini, wound up doing that for decades on end anyway, so, And I follow her on Instagram, and a while back she did an Instagram post where it was an old photo of her and Dave Stevens doing a joint signing at the famous Big Apple Comics in LA on Melrose Avenue. Yeah, where her with her pinup art and Dave Stevens with his comic book notoriety. There they were together because in 2007, Dave Stevens died of hairy cell leukemia, and that was a tragedy. Well, now that's why his estate has the Rocketeer Trust. It's a trust that's made where the profits that his estate gets from his work goes towards this raising funds for research in hairy cell leukemia, which is what killed him. Let's see. There's a whole chapter of Alberto Vargas by the end, 442. Let's see. 442, page 442. Remember, this is as wide as it is tall, and it's kind of heavy, so you can actually, here's one. This one, you get to see the finished piece and the pencil sketch side by side. So that's a little fun with the scuba diving. Scuba. Yes. Scuba hood. I steal from the poor and give to the rich. I'm scuba hood. There's a dirty scuba girl. Another nickname I heard for this kind of artwork was called good girl art back in the day. And I remember joking about it. How about good girl art that's actually no good girls? So, doing things like, volunteering in a soup kitchen or going to church. Like Donna Reed would do, because she was, she was a good girl, but also, with her man in the privacy of her own home, she was going to give Jimmy Stewart all the pussy he would ever want. And that still somehow he's depressed. Like you would ever want to leave Bedford Falls if you married Donna Reed? Or say present day equivalent, if say, you had Sydney Sweeney at your beck and call, would you ever want to leave Bozeman, Montana? Hell no. You would be a happy-go-lucky bozite for the rest of your life. Oh, here is the opening work they have of Mr. Alberto Vargas. And a little caption says, "Merry Christmas and how." This was one of those pinups, I believe, was in Esquire. if I'm remembering right. I think this was. There she is. There's the Vargas girl. Here's one. Well, Abe, I certainly hope about that surrender you're promising, since you're a man from the future where it's already Boxing Day. I can imagine if, we have Abe coming around for the New Year's Eve stream, he'll be there. And what we got, here's one. Listed above. Oh, here's actually a movie poster bit that that Vargas did for a Marlene Dietrich film called The Flame of New Orleans. Yes, little Miss Marlena, the Germanic. She was very German, very sexy. And yet, her last known film role, Touch of Evil, she plays a Mexican fortune teller as a German woman. But hey, you know why? She speaks Spanish. Her last line is adios in the movie. He was a good detective and a lousy cop. So all those Mexican women you see in Germany. Or all those Germans that went to Mexico. There's that poster, tiny reprint of a poster. I think, having him do film work, like that one time Norman Rockwell did a poster. It was for a Jerry Lewis movie. And Jerry Lewis said, I'm proud. I'm the one person who ever commissioned a film poster from Rockwell. It was for, I think, Lewis's film called The Ladies' Man that Lewis directed and wrote and starred in. Yes. Look at that lady right there. Oh, very nice. Nice tight dress. And I've noticed now with the first two encrypted comics I've done that I have Fiona wearing the same thing. Her, her Esquire, like she having her dressed like a slutty business lawyer, like a slutty businesswoman or lawyer or accountant you would see in Esquire magazine with her, blouse unbuttoned like that. But I'm thinking with this new one, I might have her, put her in other outfits and other wardrobes to variety it up. So it's not like that, that slutty getup is like the one thing she's ever wearing. Just saying, well, these 2 pages now have other things he did. Here's Ladies They Talk About with Barbara Stanwyck, but also it's surrounded by nude photos. So let's not do. Okay, here's some pieces. And considering, it's Christmas, baby, it's Christmas all over again. There it is. Ain't that nice? Santa baby right there. Get up and hurry down the chimney for me. This is all classical art of the comics world that's brilliant. Oh, yeah. Right there. Ain't that beautiful? Since we've got Abe here, let's give him a nice little look at what we also got. We got the 2 volumes of Michael Moorcock's Multiverse that were recently published by Titan Books out in the UK. Because I saw Titan. They were the company that did the trades reprinting the 90s X-Files comics by Topps. Or most of it, like the last 7 issues of the series are never been reprinted. So you got to track those back issues down at comic book stores or on eBay. Then there is Communion by Whitley Strieber and Missing Time by Bud Hopkins, 2 of some of the most major books in ufology out there. Oh, yes. And yes, to answer your question earlier, I'm sorry, Nick, Communion, this was the memoir made into the film with Christopher Walken, where he gets abducted and anally probed and all that. And he's on the spaceship that looks like, it looks like a steam room. And he's like, here I am, I'm naked, because I am the dreamer and you are the dream. Oh, yes. Right there. And it's interesting, what I did for drawing the back cover to Encrypted Save the Future will certainly be familiar to those who are looking at me getting this big boy right here. Also, feast your eyes on Caligula, the Ultimate Cut. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. One of my father's favorite films, and a film I have been hearing about for years, but I've never been able to see until now. The most I only know about was, of course, the Cinema Snob's classic review of Caligula. That was his 100th episode back in 2010. And the Cinema Snob is still doing weekly videos. And remember, his 100th review was in 2010. Yeah, that's how long it's been going. And an original 90s McFarlane toy of Mulder from this is from the X-Files movie, the X-Files, I want to believe, with the FBI badge I got to put in place with crazy glue with the little flashlight right there. And it comes with a stretcher. Nice. So now when it comes to if I ever need to draw a stretcher, I've got good solid reference for drawing a stretcher right there. And the corpse right here you put on the stretcher. Have to be careful with it though. I think he saw it in the theater, and this Blu-ray comes with both this new Ultimate Cut and the original theatrical cut from. It was filmed in 1976, and it didn't come out in theaters until 1980 in America. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I saw the original.
And this one has no connection to Penthouse Video at all. It's all done through the companies that here are Draft House Films and Unobstructed View. But actually, wait here. Copyright 1979 and then 2023 Penthouse Films International. Except the Penthouse is just like a tiny little line right there, as opposed to having the logo put on there. I remember one year I spent Christmas in Tampa before I moved to Florida, and my father went and got on the newsstand there that new issue of Penthouse, where the cover story was for like an anniversary article. It was I believe it was the 20th anniversary of when Caligula first came out in theaters in the UK, and they had an interview with Malcolm McDowell talking about his experience making the movie. Another expand and Abe. Last but not least, this one was from my mother. It's the Haya Toys version of the Alien from Alien 3. Yes. I talked about how much I know. So I'm all for the critical drinker. I like his content and all that. But him and the rest of his inner circle with Mahler and Disprue and Az and all that, I completely disagree with them. I love Alien 3. I don't care how much they want to lick James Cameron's smooth shaved balls that thinks testosterone's a poison. But I'll like Alien 3 all I want. There's nothing that they can say to make me change that. Oh yeah, right there, right there. And also, yes, it's fully articulated. You can go with the arms like this or this way. And the legs can go up high, can do high kicks. So this this alien can go and do the high kicks like a Radio City Rockette or like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Ain't that beautiful? I'm just always careful with things like this because I don't want to break them. I think that's why one of the things about one of those good things about those classic like flexible bendy toys like this is that you're expected to kind of twist them or whatever, but and also they're made to have a little bit more impact resistance. It's like remember the LJN, like the first line of WWF toys from the 80s that LJN did, where you could they made them with such like strong plastic that you could basically smash them around like it was a hammer and they wouldn't break or bust. Another thing, the chest burster spoof they did in Spaceballs, and they actually got John Hurt to do that part all over again, where the chest burster comes when he's at the diner, and then it puts on a little straw hat and gets a cane and goes, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a piss for wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you deduce me, honey, you lose me, and you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, come on and tell me I'm your own." Burr, burr, burr. Yeah. Relax, baby. Come on, guy. Oh, come on, Satan. Oh, yeah, you got me so hot. Come on, let's talk. Satan, when you make love to me, it's like you want to make love to me in my behind. Is that because you want to pretend I'm someone else? Satan, your ass is giant and red. Who would I think you are, Liza Minnelli? And also, if you remember out there, for my channel members today, since I should be up to 116 channel members right now, those get to see the stocking pieces I got from my father, as well as the presents he got. Yes, the 1957 model of his grandfather's car from Johnny Lightning, as well as I've actually got it right here. This was from Spencer's Gifts. Yes, the that strip mall I talked about, Macomb, that's up there. They have the Spencer's Gifts there, and I got him this. Because he does. He does. It was right next to the ones that said, "I love MILFs and I love DILFs." So this one was the perfect one. Yes, I love sluts. I know he'll use this all the time. And yes, Nick, the dancing chest burster is great. And yes, Abe, the figures make great references, for the future. When it comes to drawing the alien, I now have the perfect thing to work from when drawing the alien in the future, as well as I've got if there's ever a call for needing to render a stretcher, there you go. And you've got our friend here, Mulder. Whether specifically X-Files related artwork or anything else that involves some kind of reference of someone in a suit like this, I've got that down. Like with my model cars and my the one motorcycle toy I have, using those. Oh yes, yes. And yeah, he comes with a stand right there. He also comes with these two other weird little pieces. I don't know what these are for. I'm probably going to go and look these up online with these weird uppercase eyes that come on the platformer 4. I really don't know, but I'll look that up, because every brand of every big name brand of toys, they'll have those YouTube channels dedicated to everything they do is unboxing and reviewing the new ones. So there's probably a guy who has the Haya Alien 3 alien toy. That's this gift from my mother. Very, very beautiful, very nice. Oh, great. All night. And just trying to make sure the head goes in all directions, but not wanting to twist anything off or break anything, because I am I've been so accident prone all my life. Don't want to be that paranoid. And also, what else? Besides that, add to Liberty Comics, I found a Three Stooges biography. When it comes to his presence, he got a Three Stooges biography, as well as 14 different issues of Playboy we don't have. And actually, let's go over. I was able to I was smart enough to photograph all of those pieces, all those things I got him, to make sure I know what it is, in case I forgot anything. Oh, so yes, there were the national champion newspapers I got for the Detroit Free Press and the Detroit News last year when Michigan won the national title. I got those finally framed for him. There's one on one wall and one on the other, where we already have studs put into the wall. And that big boy back there, well, I promised him a new car and a new Rottweiler. I got him the car, the 57 Chevy. Where? And right there is the Rottweiler, right up there. That little piece.
Where's the car?
I put it there with the Stanley Cup, the Johnny Lightning car, and I kept it in the packaging. There it is. That's Rottweiler there. When he looked at it, he said, "Well, I see, but it can't be Bo because its head isn't flat enough." Out of the multiple Rottweilers he's owned over the years, it can't be that one. It doesn't have a flat enough head.
Put a coffee cup on his head.
It's not like a. It's more like the pet Rottweiler that the Saska sisters always post about on their Instagram. If you see them, they've got a Rottweiler puppy with them. Yes. And well, what else did you get out there? What else did you enjoy? Did you enjoy a nice little Swiss Colony beef log like Cartman did? And, another thing, another thing in the stocking that there was a patch for Apollo 15. That was the Apollo mission that had all Michigan graduates as its astronauts, all 3 of them. Yeah, that commercial that they used to air during Michigan football games in the 2000s that had the command module of Apollo 15 orbiting Earth with the fight song playing through the module as they're flying past the camera. Yeah, that's why I got that. Very nice and very beautiful and very fun. And well, since I've been promising you this, might as well show it to you. Since we've got this out of the way now, that means the 3 out of 4 pieces of 3 out of 4 of the encrypted comics we have started work on, we now have got work for all of them done. We've got the front and back covers for them. Look at this one right here for Encrypted Save the Future. This is the back cover. Does that UFO head look familiar to you? I did not know that this was in the box. I Google image searched to reference this cover, but yeah, now you can see right there. I had the analog reference right there in the box. Did not know until I did this piece, but either way, these are all absolutely positively amazing from those that sent them, whether it's, of course, from Nick, all these beautiful ones sent there, Always, always, always amazing ones that Nick sends every year, as well as, well, the big curveball, the big surprise of this alien toy from my mother. So definitely thanking her for that one as well. And I don't think Nick sent this. So who sent this? Mulder, this McFarlane Toys Agent Mulder. Still absolutely great and amazing. The head right there, a little bit. Actually, if I remember right, that VH1 special, I love the 90s, they did an episode where they talked about the X-Files, and I think a bunch of people, like, talking, had these toys with them, and they're, like, trying to, and they're acting out scenes with them. Of course, mainly they just wanted to act out seeing Mulder and Scully make out, because a bunch of thirsty women that were into the show because they just wanted to drool over Duchovny and hoping to get this another episode where they get to see him in that little red Speedo. The little red Speedo where he's all dripping wet and he's all buff, or as buff as he could ever be. Yeah, it's in real life, like, he's a sex addict. He would cheat on his wife compulsively. Yes, but I can fix him. I can fix him. It's like, you see about that crazy dude that shot that the guy that shot that healthcare CEO. There's like women penning fan letters and love letters and marriage proposals to him. That they caught that CEO, that healthcare CEO assassin, and there are women going out drooling over him, just like with Ted Bundy during his trial, or the Menendez brothers. Yes. Now you have even more references on hand for the alien design. Yes, between our little boy right here that we've had, and now, well, they've got this great one right there. Oh yeah, ain't that beautiful? Ain't that gorgeous? Oh yes. And tonight's poll was a simple one. Did you have a Merry Christmas? 100% of you says yes. Well, for us gentlemen right here, we got up as our usual time and all of that. We did as usual time. Difference though was that because we were out of coffee, he went and Uber Eats some Tim Hortons for us in the morning. And next morning we've got that early morning doctor's appointment. So they've got coffee in the waiting room there, so we can just chow that down as much as we can. And today, the thing also was those games that they had, those NFL games on Netflix. We saw those. Yeah, that was the big thing. Also, was he went and got us a Netflix subscription as a big gift also today, because on our remote we have two custom little special buttons on our remote. One that goes direct to Amazon Prime, and the other that goes to Netflix. So as I've been streaming, we've had the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight on. Yeah. Although, of course, we've been watching. He's been watching the whole card, and we're still like the undercard to Tyson. The Tyson fight's only about to start. And let's see. Well, what was your Christmas like? What did you have? What was your experience today? Like I mentioned there at the Orna Coffee, and it was around noon when he went and got the stockings, went through all those things, and then came the presents as recorded and all that. The big thing was when I showed him the framed newspapers, it was a matter of finding the studs that were already put in the wall to hang things up on. And the barbed wire poster I got him last year, I had to move that to a different wall because it was blocking the way of one of those bits of the wall that had a stud and to hang up the frame. So now blocked behind our Christmas tree is we've got one of those Michigan football national championship newspapers, and it's a bit of a distance a little way to that framed Orgasmo poster we have. And with other people's Christmas experiences, Weatherman says, I got a few gifts, but my sister-in-law wanted to take pictures of me opening them. So I took them home, and I'll wait a couple days before opening them. Okay. It may be, gold. It may be a new blender. It may be a Swiss Colony beef log. It may be a white dwarf star. It may even be a Christmas bonus from Brian Doyle Murray. I want my boss down there on that to show up with a big ribbon on his head. And I tell him what a kind of a lying, suppy piece of crap, a monkey shit he is. Hallelujah. Holy shit. Where's the Tylenol? Although, considering that actor E.G. Marshall's in the cast of that film, be grateful that no cockroaches came bursting out of his throat and out of his mouth like in the end of Creepshow. Or you also have William Hickey in that. Be grateful that none of his little evil puppets came and killed anybody. Yes. Surprisingly, as many films in the Puppet Master series as there are, there's never been a Christmas Puppet Master film.
Christmas film.
I mean, if we've had Jason Takes Manhattan, then I'm surprised we haven't had a Puppet Master Christmas. I know, yeah, filming in New York City, that would be way too much for how cheap Charles Band produces films, but you can at least do the Christmas theme and just have it all be set indoors.
We'll do it in Jersey.
You could film it in Jersey, or you can film it, in Vancouver or in like Pasadena or something where it's cheaper. Film it all the places where Hallmark makes all their Christmas films.
Rhode Island.
Yes. Nick says, I quote that all the time. Where's the Tylenol? And I mentioned William Hickey, and that's Nick's favorite character from the film. They want you to say grace. What's that noise? You couldn't hear a nitroglycerin. You couldn't hear a dump truck going off in a nitroglycerin plant with his terrible toupee. They want you to say grace. Oh no, Grace. She moved to Florida. You might want to put a rain check on that kiss there, Sart. He's got some kind of lip infection that the doctors ain't identified yet. There, he's graduating up to guessing weights. Eventually, he might wind up working with the bearded lady. My son right there, he's got his career up there in the circus. Hey, the shitter is full. The shitter is full. Just a little, hooter. I mean, hotter if it was. Well, you also have your coat on, sir. Yes, the lingerie lady that he dreams about at the pool. And once again, for those who are frustrated you didn't get to see that lady at the pool nude in Christmas Vacation, that actress did show her breasts in the film Boxing Helena. Look it up. Let's see. Weatherman brings up, I expect to have her to call me a couple times until she tells me to just open them. Well, okay. That's it. Very, very nice right there. And this has all been great and amazing. And if I had that type of recording ability to do it with that frame by frame, I would go and try to make a nice little stop motion thing with this, because I've seen people with just like store-bought toys and store-bought camera equipment able to do Ray Harryhausen levels of stop motion animation with, toys like this. And it's got the articulation. I'd love to do my own little, maybe do like a Kickstarter for doing my own little fan-made version of the Vincent Ward Alien 3 on the wooden planet with monks. Since I've got the alien right here, I can go and maybe custom make my own little monk models and use them to do the alien planet, the wooden planet with the alien coming. Right there. Ain't that beautiful? Oh, yeah, that's a great one. And maybe even get a Swiss colony beef log, baby. A Swiss colony beef log. My mama says, here, son, have some eggnog. I fucking hate eggnog, seriously. Maybe the GoPro would do that. Yeah, I could see that too with the time lapse and going on and Ain't that beautiful? Gorgeous. Even has on the inside thigh right here, copyright 20CS. 20th Century Studios, copyright on the inside leg right there where my index finger is. Oh, I got Megator. That's Mega T. His index finger is crooked, slightly different. Megator, Mega T, Mega Te, Mega Tai. Every time I click, it's $9.99 to you. Look at them awful parents. I ought to report them. Guess what? It's naked time. Here's one. Weatherman says, I need to buy a camera for Luke that doesn't have autofocus. Oh, yeah, so the zooming in and out thing. That might be well, my birthday's in February, so, there's a time right there, a time and a place for everything. Again, Leon can't do everything. If you're wondering about that thing right here, oh, yeah. Hey, it's all right to say shit. It ain't against God. Hey, the first time it was crew expendable. The next time they sent in Marines. What makes you think they're going to care about a bunch of lifers who found God at the ass end of space? You're all going to die. It's all a matter of just how you're going to check out. On your feet fighting, on your motherfucking knees begging. Fuck it, let's go, boys. Just a little fun with Scully, what's this? Scully, there's there in the light. What's that in the light there? The unsolved mysteries of unsolved mysteries. The truth is out there. And don't you notice the resemblance, Scully, right there in the resemblance to Duchovny? Although I've never hit on Gary Shandling in my life, I never met the man, and now he's dead, so I'll never be able to meet the man. Then again, I'll also never be able to meet Alberto Vargas or Da Vinci, so I've accepted a lot of that. I might be able to swing getting to meet Cedric the Entertainer if he ever is in town doing stand-up. I remember at the MGM casino I went to around the time when it was still open before COVID lockdowns happened, they were promoting that Sinbad was going to be performing there, but then, of course, he canceled because, the casinos were shut. But, okay. Either way, the truth is coming. There is always exhuming. Oh, the zooming in and out, the zooming out. Oh yeah, all of that stuff. It's the focusing in, focusing out. It's like the zoom in, zoom out stuff. If you remember in the movie Kung Pao, in out, in out, in out. Open your mouth. Open the mouth, baby. Up, 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 up. No digging up Gary. Okay, I'm not going to dig up Gary Shandling. I won't. I'm not going to exhume Gary Shandling. I promise you. Maybe David Duchovny will, because if you remember him on the Larry Sanders Show, he needed his heart screamed for Gary Shandling. It's like the day he died was the day that David Duchovny started looking like Gary Oldman in Dracula when he's crying purple and his face turns into a bat face. And hello to Devil Flyer Momentum in the chat saying, Merry Christmas, Luke. Well, then, Merry Christmas to you too there. And well, since we haven't had you in a while, I now have been in the middle of making my own comic series. I'm doing 4 initial issues of the series. 2 of them are done. I'm starting the 3rd one. Here is the back cover to the 2nd story, Encrypted Save the Future, right there. Yes. I just drew the back cover before the stream started. There is that back cover right there. And here is the back cover to the 1st story. The 1st Encrypted. Oh, yes. Yes, that is better dead than fed. And Abe just had his first Boxing Day cup of tea. Nice. Here's the back cover to the one I'm currently doing, Encrypted Divine Justice. Just a shattered rosary with a bullet hole in the center. And here is the actual front cover to what we're currently doing with Encrypted Divine Justice. And yes, the title is actually done by hand on the cover right there. Very, very fun. I'm happy with the work we've done with the first 2 issues, and I'm hoping the other 2 to make them even better than what I had done before. Oh, baby. And Devil Flyer, let's give him a look at the presents that I received. Thanks to all those gift givers like Nick and my mother and whoever was the anonymous gentleman that sent Agent Mulder. Agent Mulder with this corpse and the stretcher from the McFarlane Toys X-Files movie toy line. This is my mother's gift, the Alien 3 alien right there. Very nice, very beautiful, very scary. Also, there is these periodicals behind me include the Abduction Memoir Communion, the This Missing Time by Bud Hopkins, Caligula, the Ultimate Cut right there, beautiful, 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 and both volumes of Michael Moorcock's Multiverse as reprinted recently by Titan Books. Beautiful, beautiful. And last but not least, straight out of the box, it's a big one, it's a hefty one, but it's a beautiful one. The Art of Pinup, right there. Plenty of great new drawing reference in here for work I plan to do and all that. You might see me work some of this into the work of doing encrypted divine justice in some way or another. Just a little bit right there. Oh yeah. So that was all. This is absolutely amazing. Absolutely great. Anyone who sent anything is absolutely perfect. And there's the big thing of what my father got. That will be something I will show off for Friday night because it's due to come from Amazon Friday, is what he says. So it'll be coming, and I'll be getting that one, showing that one off. Oh yeah. And yes, this alien really does. I'll get you with my little mouth too. There's a little mouth right there. Mm. Oh, he's coming. He's coming for you.
Why does Cedric the Entertainer always wear a hat?
It's more, why is he wearing it? Looks like a hat that's like a dashiki thing, or what? Or what Jim Brown used to wear when he would wear those kind of hats, except.
Said he's been shaving his head for years. He could grow his stubble out.
And yes, I did not break the traditional Christmas cheese pizza vow. I did that. I got it. Oh, yeah. From Papa John's this year. Last year, it was this corner place that's like a local place. This year was Papa John's. The year before that, it was from Jet's Pizza.
No, Benny.
The Jet's Pizza was, the Jet's Pizza came from, I just ordered directly from the store. Last year, I just walked up personally there in the store to get that. And this year, it was Uber Eats. And if you want to know what my father's presents were, of course, well, a little stocking stuffer right here. I love Sluts shot glass. I'll be washing that one out. And the Johnny Lightning 57 Chevy Bel Air.
Don't talk about your mother that way.
And also there was the Apollo 15 mission patch. And beyond that, I also went and got, I did that piece back there for him, a little rendering of the Rottweiler back there. And also got the national champion Michigan pieces framed.
Framed the week before the actual game is going to be on for the next national champion.
Yes. And also, I bet you, of all things, that, you know, you'll get to see on New Year's Eve at noon for channel members only. I'll be streaming the Michigan bowl game against Alabama. And Alabama will lose to Michigan in the bowl game twice in the same year. Since, yes, it was January 2024, so it'll be New Year's Eve, the last day of 2024. You'll be seeing them again, making Jeremy Griggs have a reason to cry. Oh, yes. It'll be as beautiful as when Cartman, whenever he gets his Swiss Colony beef log. And also, I want people to hold me to this, to promise me that I will never dig up Gary Shandling. No digging up Gary Shandling to bring him back from the dead. So that, although I can't promise you that David Duchovny won't do that himself. He might do that himself. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe if his career gets on the skid, he'll do it.
Well, like last night, I saw an X-Files episode that involved Bruce Campbell impregnating women so that they can give birth to devil babies. So you never know. He might show up there. He might get to that point. Considering that, you know, with the marriage he had and the divorce he had, truly, if you remember the Larry Sanders Show, Duchovny's one true love was Gary Shandling. No man, you know, sits in a robe and uncrosses his legs to show off his balls for another man unless he wants that other man in a way that, you know, is best described by that Lionel Richie, Diana Ross song they did for that movie where Brooke Shields gets her house burned down. Yes. Let's see. I will be watching while my family's all around me, but I won't be on YT. Well, Weatherman, are you referring to New Year's Eve, or are you referring to the game? Because the game's at noon. That's why I'm streaming the game for channel members. And, you know, later on at night is when I'll be doing the big thing, the big doy, the big dance, the game right there. Oh, yeah, as in the ball drop. There's only you in my life. Let's see. Nick says, I'm going to have to go put my phone on charge. Well, that's okay. And, well, with how long we've been going, here is the last call for anybody to want to show, you know, what's the best idea of, you know, one last final Christmas gift? Well, this is the last call for super chats, the last call for channel memberships, and the last call for store donations. there's to Weatherman. The game is on the 31st, not the 29th. I know on the 29th you've got your big party. No, the Michigan game is on noon on the 31st. It's on New Year's Eve at noon, the Michigan game. So with those 5 memberships that Weatherman gifted earlier, we should be up to 106 memberships tomorrow. So let's hope that happens right there, so we can at least maintain over 100 memberships. Yes, that's noon, New Year's Eve. I'll be streaming for members only the game, and then I'll be having my big New Year's Eve bash with the ball dropping and all of that regular time at night. And Weatherman says, oh, okay, I will be there. Thank you, Yara, just to clear that date up, Weatherman, because I know your big party with your family and all that's on the 29th that you were mentioning. And Abe says, I'll try and make it. Hope to see you there because, well, it'll be noon. So with that, with the UK time zone difference and all that, yeah, it'll be 5 in the afternoon over there. And then yes. That's what we've got. And well, who do you think wins in a fight? Your typical Roswell like this or this boy? I'm thinking this boy out here, our little friend, the friend here. He's the one that kills the gray. The grays versus the alien right here. Yeah, he's devouring the Whitley Strieber one. He's not going to abduct Whitley Strieber. He's just going to kill him. Because hey, why not?
Oh.
And well, Nick's saying a nice little thing to thanks for stopping by, Abe. Happy Boxing Day to you. And well, Abe's had a good time. Well, I'm amazed out in the UK, that far away, you've been coming up here and saying hello. That is going to be cool. That's going to be fun. That is, all the way out there where it's got to be well past 5 in the morning where he is. That I sincerely thank you for making your stop right there. And let's all give you all a little look at our tree. I think, well, in the years that I've been having my own tree and all that, I think it's the best I've ever done, but I also think I can do better. Next year, we'll make it even better and more beautiful. I can swear on that to all of you. Yeah, where it is, it's 5:23 in the morning where Abe is out there in the UK. Guys, remember, with the daylight savings going down, that means it's only 5 hours difference instead of 6. So that is why this was an amazing, 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 beautiful Christmas, and why, well, where now that it's past midnight, we're going to retire the hat for the year, but that doesn't mean that we're going to find another bigger way to spread a little Christmas cheer out there for all of you next year. Oh, yes. I was down for Christmas vacation. Yes. The one last big thing to do, we got Christmas vacation, of course, as in it'll be the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny fucking Kaye. And since I've never tap danced with Danny fucking Kaye, I just have to watch what they do. I did see Danny Kaye on the Twilight Zone in the 80s. That was good, but never in his prime tap dancing with Bing Crosby. That you might see in the future. Oh, yeah. I'm glad that tree looks great, and I'm keeping up until the day after New Year's. Is that right? It's like January 2nd? Yeah. That's the January 2nd is the day we take that down and take down the silver bells in our manger and all that. And Alpha Proto's in the chat now to say, I need to watch one more Christmas movie before the night ends. I wanted 8 Crazy Nights. That movie sucked. Well, I saw that in the theater, actually. And well, if we're going to end it with Christmas Vacation for tonight, yes, after the Paul fight and all that. And Alpha Proto, since we got you here, let's give him one look at the new piece, the newly done back cover to Encrypted Save the Future. That's a beautiful little classic Roswell boy right there.
Where's Christmas Vacation?
Well, you can find that just YouTube TV right there.
You already got it recorded?
Yeah, I've had it DVR'd there for years. Years ago, I DVR'd it, and it's just there. We can fast forward through commercials.
It's like TBS?
AMC, I think, AMC. I also watched Lethal Weapon today. It was on demand on TNT, and surprisingly, they didn't censor any cursing or nudity with the TNT on demand of Lethal Weapon. That was surprising. Yes. Well, Alpha Proto wants to believe because, yes, we've got Mulder right there. We got Mulder because the truth is out there. Weatherman says, I'm going to lay down later on. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow there. Hope you do great, Weatherman, right there. And also, if you like that, well, that McFarlane Toys of Mulder comes with this victim on a stretcher. And for further elucidation into ufology, we've got these two to read. Oh, I got myself quite a little reading list now, don't I? Oh, yeah. With Whitley Strieber and Bud Hopkins, two major voices in that community right there. And just because the main story of Encrypted Divine Justice doesn't revolve around UFOs and alien cover-ups, for the sake of continuity, there is going to be alien figures in background details since it's set in New York City. And the ending of this story, the second story, does involve aliens. So you'll be seeing other alien-related things. And also a lot more reference from this big, beautiful boy right here, The Art of Pinup. Oh, yeah. I'd say she's a good girl, but she's a good girl that, has her man and keeps her man happy. Doesn't it look like a lady that keeps her man happy?
Yeah, she does bad things.
She does bad things for her husband, like Donna Reed in It's a Wonderful Life, where she basically, not on screen, but there, well, what do you want? What do you want? You want the moon? No, I don't want the moon, George. I want you to put your fat, long cock in me now. I'm ovulating. Give it to me now. I want to lose count of how many kids we have, George. I want one of the snaps where it's like, hey, who are you? Let me see some ID. Okay, you are one of mine. All right. You have to get ready for school. Mike Tyson gonna be okay. Like then, of course, Evander, looking like a bald Eric July if he was a boxer instead of in track, with that strong facial hair and the strong facial hair with that good, strong, flat nose and then big ass lips that makes EVS so jealous. Maybe that's why EVS is so jealous of Eric July. That's nothing to do with him making faster comics and delivering on his promises, but also just the fact he's got that big, strong black man look with the big ass lips and flat nose and got that good head. He got that good hair. Eric July wears those hats all the times on streams, but he doesn't need to wear the hats. Unlike bald asshole EVS, Eric July just wears them while taking the hat off. You see, he got that good hair. Eric July got that good hair. Everyone thought they had Indian in his family. He'd be going out to the creek, he'd be swimming, he'd pop up, and he got that good hair, his hair all dewy in the sun, all dripping and glistening, just catching the light. Like he'd be shooting rainbows at his head with the light in the water, on the sunlight from the water, just glistening everywhere. Got lasers out his brain, like he's some kind of black silver surfer. And well, I'm amazed there hasn't been a Silver Surfer style character in the Rippaverse yet. Maybe there'll be more. The more it expands, you might get some more cosmic stories or something involving that Silver Surfer Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know. That good hair. Well, he does. Even I remember somewhere when I think it was like an article online from years ago when Eric July was still doing track when he was in college, and they're showing him competing there, and that good hair. He got that so glow, except he didn't need to put motor oil in his hair to make it glow. It just naturally glowed with his own ebony strength, like Jim Brown in the 50s to the 70s. When he was doing stuff like 100 rifles or in his playing days for the Cleveland Browns, just that good hair. Although with a nose that flat, I do wonder how he can breathe when his mouth is closed. It's one of those of I don't really know how to be a black man, Cleveland, except not closing my mouth when I'm sleeping to breathe. Maybe. Alpha Proto asks, is Coming to America a Christmas movie? No, but there was another Eddie Murphy film from the 80s. There's one, Trading Places. That's a Christmas movie. If you want a John Landis directed Eddie Murphy film that's a Christmas movie, always go with Trading Places. You want that one? Yes. Try that one out. Sorry, I know it's another one of those where the camera looks like it went out of focus, so you've got that image that looks like you've got cataracts like my father does, and that's part of why we've got that appointment in the morning. It's like 9:50 in the morning is when the appointment is, so we're going to be up early. So it's going to be we watch Christmas Vacation and then we get to bed because we got that early time to get up there. But yeah, there, and also don't forget about athletic black man means. You got that package. You know what that is? Oh, it's just my package. This is my package day. God delivered it. I signed for it. World keeps on spinning. Just like in the Riververse, we keep moving. We keep expanding. Expanding like my package in my track tights. When I wear them good red shorts. I'll be playing in the park on the monkey bars with those little red shorts. I'd be riding all up and you would get to see the outline of my big black dick. this swinging around. You know what happened when Chuck Berry sang My Ding-a-ling? He was talking about not his dick, he was talking about my dick. And Abe says hello to my father right there. Well, he enjoyed his presents and all of that. You can never go wrong with a stack of Playboys and with a little bit of fun like a 57 Chevy Bel Air. That was his grandfather's car. So I didn't know that. I just went for, like, I was at the Hobby Lobby and I thought, okay, what would be like a classic American car model I can get from Johnny Lightning or Matchbox or Hot Wheels? Another one I saw was a James Bond Hot Wheels, but it was the Honda from You Only Live Twice. So, okay, no. Get Buy American. That's his thing. That's a thing around here. In this country, not this country, in this city, you buy American, or, you're going to get, at the very least, some funny looks. It's like me walking into a black barbershop, you're going to at least get some funny looks, or we don't serve your kind out here, a little more intense like that. Oh, yes. So if everybody's there had that Merry Christmas and are getting ready for a Happy New Year, and also there's a Boxing Day coming up and all that, this has been an absolutely positively amazing Christmas for all of you out there, everyone that gave a gift and all that, from my father's to my mother to, of course, Nick, and the anonymous gentleman that sent our friend right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for making this a Merry Christmas. Hope you had a merry one too. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already, and do what you can do. Support the channel, become a member today. And well, then again, they're on Netflix, so that makes sense. But yes, become a member today, or shop my art store at the second link below, where you can go, and if you want to, you can either there's my artwork you can get. You can go and show your support with a commission, or you can drop in and just simply donate in my store if you feel like that. You want to show your support directly to me without any of it going to the Google Goliath. Just imagine that. So until then, tomorrow I've got my shorts at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 and 6. My video appears at 6:30, and I'll be live for a Boxing Day stream at 10. So until then, felines, slam it, lick it, suck it, and see you, Space Cowboy.